Shalom, assalamu alaikum, and welcome to all my fellow Jewish brothers. A successful subversion of the American dogs has been taken underway. We have deceived the Goyim once again with the help of Donald Trump. Well, Zeb, it finally happened. It finally happened. I don't even know what, dude. What do we what do we even say?
I mean,
it's beyond parody.
No
It's
clue.
crazy, dude. Did you see? Okay, because I know you and I were texting last night when.
But you're trying to jump right in. I'm trying to take it slow.
Hell no.
I'm trying to relax a little bit. I've been amped up since like 9 o'clock last night.
How are we supposed to ease this one in, dude?
I'm just.
I mean, Gunner's already in the chat. He's guns a blazing.
Oh, stream's over. Gunner's here. Stream's over. That's how it goes.
yeah, exactly.
Welcome, brothers.
Oh
Ninja Gunner.
my gosh.
Welcome to the chat. Yep, Israel got what they wanted.
Ninja. I was legitimately joking with him about that last night. I was like, Zane, what is he, 2 weeks old now? Is that too young to be conscripted?
At the rate it's going.
Not if you ask them. It's not too young to be killed by them.
Here we are.
Oh my gosh, dude.
There was a car ran into a church today and started shooting up people.
Where?
Colorado.
Like
a car ran into the church. The dude started shooting as he
Oh.
ran through the church.
and
Let me see.
for like a anti-Israel protest or something.
Who
Or
knows,
was it
dude?
like an Iranian?
if
Iranian
it makes me
thing?
feel better, then I'm gonna say it's Trump's fault because he bombed Iran. A sleeper cell.
I mean, yeah.
Had the sleeper cells already been activated? Not even 24 hours. We got bomb vest blowing up churches. the best churches, really. The Christians, we target the Christians because they know that's where it hurts them.
The Dune Coons are already coming for your babies. We need to murder every single person that's not a Jew. Starting with Christians, we'll use their blood to save Mother Israel. Thank you and God bless. Shalom, assalamu bacon.
Boys,
Oh my God.
Lord of the
dude.
Ree, welcome to War is Fucking Gay. I don't know. It's pretty real. It's pretty real. It is gay.
It might
though.
be gay. Yeah, it might be
It depends.
gay,
It
but
depends on which war, but yeah, it is gay.
it's seeming kind of real. Oh, now they drop freedom and terror.
Why is the text so small today? Is it small to you?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Like,
anyway.
and it always, like, the black box always shows up way bigger, and it's like random every time we start a new stream. It's crazy.
Anyway, boys, I
6
guess
months in, we'll figure out these technical problems one day.
I got a slew of information for you if you haven't heard yet. The information is World War III started. Anybody tells you different is a liar. This isn't how world works. Before we get into that, YouTube did monetize the channel, boy. So we do have memberships active. I don't know. I think you might have to actually be on desktop to join, but I think it's like $1.99 a month or something. You get all. I tried to make it to where you get all the memberships, but then there's two other tiers if you feel like it, like a $4.99 and a $9.99, $14.99.
Okay, so fill me in,
like
because
that.
I thought monetization was like you get ad revenue.
Yeah, so YouTube, you can. There's like, I don't know, a plethora of ways, somewhere like 7 to 12 different ways you can monetize a brand. And through YouTube, there's multiple ways you can monetize. You got obviously super chats. You got your ad revenue on long form and short form. On the long form videos, I'm gonna dial it back as much as I can. I don't want to push ads if I don't have to, but I think that's just the nature of monetization. That's gonna happen either way. But another way you can do it is you have your memberships, just like anything like Locals or Patreon type setup, and then you get different emojis. You get a little badge that says you've been here for so long, and then every once in a while I will do some like members only stuff.
We need to just rob banks or something.
Yeah,
I feel like of course the idea of like being able to be like a full-time broadcaster, like it sounds enticing, but
I think
then
my
all
hat's
the, like,
too big.
If
I just get like a smaller hat,
you think so?
yeah. If I just get a smaller hat and then just like money comes to you, that's what I've heard. like this.
Your
And then I just
zero
gotta let my
interest rate life hack.
grow my
Well,
sideburns
you've
out.
got to take your voice up a few octaves and speak way, way faster. Like all the time. You got to do that. Die for Israel.
Let me see if I can make this.
I
thing.
think the issues we're having on screen here are like a
I can't
spacing
see
thing.
anything. Anyway, all right, chat, boys.
Oh, God.
Memberships are active. If you want to join. If not gonna hurt my feelings. But if we do ever pick up an audience, I will do explicitly membership things to, especially for the loyal ones.
I will say this: Gunner, Lord of the Ree, and Ninja of Spades, Malarkey. There's a couple others who I'm sure I'm forgetting.
Oh, yeah,
they're
Chris-
automatically in. You guys. You
Yeah,
guys
I try to make it the
bricklayers.
I try to make it as cheap as I can. It's like $199 a month or something. And you get almost everything that I could. I tried to level it heavy down into the bottom tier. But anyway, that's on YouTube. Well, I'm still working on Rumble. We'll get there one day. With all that being said, Josh, you want me to go ahead and play the Nick clip first?
Well, that's kind of. Let's save this one for later because it's a little bit like post.
I got plenty, man. I got plenty.
Yeah,
There's so much here, dude. There's so much here. Let's
This
just
is
start
sort
from the
of
beginning.
because the Nick clip I sent you has to do with what comes after. So I think we should save that for the end based on whatever you got to show. So
Yeah, let's just we'll save that one for the end.
all
How
right,
does this look
what's
on
this?
screen? This is kind of going over what we sent. We're gonna do it real quick. Guys, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Trump came out yesterday, and announced. I don't have this in order. All of my tweets aren't. I mean, all of my takes aren't on there. I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah, they're definitely not. Anyway, this is most recent. Excuse me. See if we can dive into this thing real quick. Great. This is after we bombed Iran. Obviously, great unity and the Republican Party. Where does the unity come from, Josh? Perhaps unlike we've ever seen before. Now let's get the great, big, beautiful bill done. Our country is doing great. MAGA.
The only thing this tweet is missing is a little like pocket watch spinning back and forth like across the screen because this is this is some of the
just tweeted
biggest
this,
cope
like
I've ever seen.
An hour ago.
Literally, it's like Trump is manifesting, like what hippie girls do, where he's like, "Oh, there's great unity." It's
not that
literally
bad.
the opposite. He's just saying the opposite. And dude, how can you not think he's retarded at this point? I mean, like now let's get the great big beautiful bill done. The bill.
I know I started World War III
Yeah.
on behalf of Israel, but we really got to pass this big, beautiful bill.
And
Here's the rumor floating around. So I go ahead and toss this one out there. Here's a rumor floating around. The rumor floating around is Lindsey Graham was the one that doesn't want to sign off on the deportation funding. Lindsey Graham wanted to bomb Iran. So Trump bombed Iran to get the money for deportations. That's the rumor floating around.
bullshit. No.
Yeah, let's start World War III so we can deport people. No, how about let's just deport people? First of all, it's easily argued that what Trump did is unconstitutional, which I don't have a huge issue with. Well, it's a war effort. Trump doesn't have unilateral jurisdiction in wartime, in war effort, to start a war.
Okay.
He has 60 days to deploy some facet of the Marine Corps, basically. After that, he's overstayed his welcome, and it's a wartime. But he doesn't have jurisdiction to drop bombs, which is fine. Because I've argued for do unconstitutional things because I don't care. But the problem is the thing that we do that's unconstitutional is start World War III. How about screw these district judges? How about screw these federal judges, Supreme Court, everybody? I don't care. Start deporting people. If you're going to do the unconstitutional thing, make it beneficial to Americans.
Yeah.
Is that hard?
That's exactly what we're saying. Biden did it. Trump did it. And it was all for nothing. It was all for bullshit. We need... Bro, I'm honestly, I'm kind of coming around to your thing where maybe we do need a militia just to start rounding up the beans and sending them back.
Josh, I'm always right. Y'all just hold on, boys. I don't want to be right. I don't want to. I would rather not be right, actually. I'd rather not be right. But yeah, so I think everybody's well aware of what kind of happened yesterday. We dropped. Let me go back to this tweet. I'm gonna run through it real quick because I didn't even read that in depth. Just kind of dive in, see what we actually dropped on them, and then we can kind of discuss from there.
Now these bombs, are they 30? Oh, they're 30,000 pounds.
30,000 pound bunker busters. Really, they're not like explosive power. From my understanding, they're just kinetic energy. It's like dropping a massive bowling ball.
Yeah.
Instead of a grenade. Yeah. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, I got you. They do have a payload,
and I have
though.
a theory. I have a theory that I haven't seen yet on Twitter. If y'all want to stick around for this, let me get through this tweet and I'll kind of toss that out to you. U.S. President tells Fox, this was last night, a total of 6 GBU, 57 AB mob, massive ordnance penetrator, 30,000 pound bunker buster bombs were dropped. U.S. Air Force B-2A, Spirit, long range stealth bombers, blah, 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 blah. U.S. Navy at Nanzit. Okay, they're talking about. So he dropped 6 of them in 3 locations. I'm assuming 2 apiece. They were talking about doing some. They were talking about Top Gun when he drops the bomb, the little bomb to open it up, and then they drop another bomb to blow it up. Do you see Top Gun Maverick?
Yeah,
where they dropped the double bomb.
Yeah,
that's what they cited when they were talking about dropping bombs here.
Okay, so help me out here because you're a military man. Is that not possible?
I don't drop bombs, dude. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, is it possible? I would assume so.
But you're saying the state, like the Department of Defense, like cited Maverick as like what they were gonna do.
Basically, yeah. So
you know
basically, how
there was also this one guy, Luke Skywalker, where he dropped 2 proton torpedoes in the Death Star vent shaft or whatever.
Yeah, but what was the population of the Death Star?
They're terrorists. Maybe
to answer your question a little bit, there's something called a Rothfuss round as you shoot out of a 50, and it's got a tungsten core in it, and it's basically a double penetration where the initial impact creates a hole, and then the tungsten on impact basically melts and sends a second around it melts and creates a cavity that the tungsten then pierces through that again. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So they make a single round that does essentially what they tried to do with this.
Yeah.
From my understanding. Zeb isn't wrong. He's just early. Hey, I appreciate it, brother. What is up with this thing? Big black box. It's exhausting, boys. It's exhausting. Let's see what else. I don't have all of them. We might have to scroll my feed here in a second. My feed's pretty rough. I was pumping out some bangers last night, dude. I got some memes for you. You might like though.
All right, hit me,
chat. You might like that. Oh, my theory. Here's my theory. I'm gonna lay this theory out here. Israel bombs Iran. Iran retaliates with a slew of missiles.
Okay.
The Iron Dome doesn't get all of them. Israel gets a little scared. Oh, they may have more missiles than we can handle with the Iron Dome. Hey, Donald Trump. They might not have nukes, but I know they have a ton of missiles. Can we just get rid of a bunch of their missiles so that they can stop bombarding us? I think the strikes were actually to take out a significant portion of whatever stockpiled missiles or whatever they have that they were sending at Israel, rather than the nukes. I don't believe they have nukes. I don't believe they're even close to having nukes. They haven't been close to having nukes since they told us they were close to having nukes back in '92. So that's my position. I think we bombed Iran to blow up their stockpile of missiles so that they can't bombard Israel anymore. Yeah, I was told Israel can defend itself too. So I don't know why we had to get involved at all.
She can defend herself whenever she needs to. We don't need the Goyim's help until we do every single time.
Gonna ask you a solid question. How do we know which sources to trust? I'll tell you which ones to trust right here. I'll give you a list. All right, end of the list. Yeah, I mean, none of them are trustworthy. Nobody, the people that think they know what they're talking about, sometimes including me, don't know what they're talking about. I just happen to be right, even though I don't know what I'm talking about sometimes. And the people that do know what they're talking about are liars. So you can't trust anybody.
All right, I got a legitimate question for you. And I don't think, I agree, I don't think Iran's anywhere close to having a nuclear weapon. But realistically, let's say they had one. Let's say all the reports are right and they've got one right now. Who do you think is a more likely target? And I'm not saying that as like a baited question. I'm genuinely asking what you think. Do you think somewhere in the United States or Israel would be their first target? Let's say they had one nuclear bomb and it was just
let's just hypothetical. They have an ICBM, which they don't. Hypothetical, they have a nuke, which they don't.
Uh-huh.
It's going to Israel if it goes.
I think so too. Well, because
obviously,
A, it's closer, and B, well,
they couldn't even get it to us if they wanted to.
The Iranians know probably better than even you and I do how vindictive and evil the Israelis are.
Well, yes.
And they know about if we know about the Samson option, the Iranians know about the Samson option. And if they nuked Israel, they might be thinking about like the whole Middle East.
Well, this
and all the Muslim
This is something else I was thinking
over.
about last night. It's like if the U.S. has entered the war, which we have, whatever they say, they haven't entered the war. This wasn't war. We want peace, dude. You just bomb the country. This is completely different than taking out Soleimani. Anyway,
yes, he wasn't even on their soil.
What was I going to say? Oh, Lord. I forgot.
Lord Jesus.
I forgot.
This is different than Soleimani.
No, before that.
Okay. The Jews are stealing our train of thought. Get on the train, Goyim.
Let's see what old Netanyahu has to say here, boys.
Oh, yeah. I hadn't seen his response that the Iranians will be destroyed.
Congratulations, President Trump. Your bold decision to target Iran's nuclear facilities with the awesome and righteous might of the United States will change history.
Bro, everybody that rails against having a dictator worships at the feet of Benjamin Netanyahu.
So, yeah.
Operation Rising Lion, Israel has done truly amazing things. But in tonight's action against Iran's nuclear facilities, America has been truly...
Oh, I keep interrupting. I don't care what he has to say, really, to be honest with you. I'm just playing. It was called Operation Midnight Hammer. You know what it made me think about?
Like a porno.
You know what it made me think about? Do you
that?
remember Nancy Pelosi's husband got busted in by the police with his little imp with the hammer?
Yeah.
That's what it made me think about. You got what was that, Paul Pelosi?
Yeah.
Paul Pelosi and his hammer boy in midnight. That's what we're naming this after?
Operation Midnight Hammer.
What a
That's
joke,
funny.
dude.
It has done what no other country on earth could do. History will record that President Trump acted to deny the world's most dangerous regime the world's most dangerous weapons. His leadership today has created a pivot of history that can help lead the Middle East and beyond to a future of prosperity and peace. President Trump
Oh, audio.
say,
Uh-oh.
Hold on.
Why does it like reset all
Let's
the settings
see.
every time?
All systems audio. It should be playing. Let's go to Safri.
comes strength, then comes peace.
Sorry.
And tonight,
Sorry,
President
boys.
Trump and
Fixed
the
it.
United States acted with
Ladies and gentlemen.
honesty. President Trump, I thank you. The people of Israel thank you. The forces of civilization thank you. God bless America. God bless Israel. And may God bless our unshakable alliance, our unbreakable faith.
I know you didn't have sound for half the video. All he did was glaze Trump for 1 minute and 21 seconds. That's all you got to know.
And how we are fighting to save civilization from sand monkeys.
Basically.
Not us, though.
Listen, if you want peace in the Middle East, all you have to do is relocate Israel to Madagascar. It's that simple.
I've been reading up on that.
It was a great plan to start with. We should have followed through with it. We didn't. Now we have century-long wars.
I went to a new. Well, it's not a new church, but the pastor was talking about this, and he was praying for the IDF. Oh my!
It's
goodness.
exhausting, dude. It's so it's so infected all across everywhere. This is Steve Bannon. Why is it real? It's really not working with me today, boys. Steve Bannon. I think Mark Levin, and I think Mark Levin, and I think many people at Fox. Why is it?
Oh, it's in quote Bannon. I think Mark Levin, and I think many people. What? Many people at Fox and the whole network and the Murdoch should be put under investigation as basically agents of a foreign government.
Something up on Twitter tonight. I think lets it speak for itself. It's so revolting and disgusting, particularly somebody who's never served his country and is not a veteran. His use of language is so inappropriate for someone who's too gutless to serve his nation, right? What he does in trying to smear people about their patriotism and their love of country and their commitment to this nation. Like I said, I think he and I think many people at Fox and the whole network and the Murdoch should be put under investigation as under FAR investigations as basically agents for a foreign government. I think it's quite clear that he's not pitching this in the interests of the United States of America or American citizens, and particularly those in harm's way, right? Since he's never been in harm's way, and I don't think any of his children have been in harm's way, right? It's not a very patriot. His love of country and patriotism is just as solid as his being MAGA, which he was one of the most vicious voices of President Trump when we ran in 2016, and then in 2021 he's one of the first people to bail, with all the people at Fox taking paychecks from Rupert Murdoch, who bailed to go to DeSimp and Nikki Haley and that whole crew of neoliberal neocons. President Trump is quite different, and President Trump is returning to the White House.
What's that background noise?
Going to get a
I think that's part of his. I think it's probably his outro
counsel
music.
On the situation, and we'll see how this develops tonight. Special edition of the War Room. Back in a moment.
Yeah, Steve Bannon is exactly right, dude. I mean, it's obviously some type of conspiring going on.
Almost a Freudian slip there.
What'd I say?
Some kike of
Some kind of conspiracy going on. There's some collusion at some level. I mean, it's undeniable at this point.
even like, I mean, Steve Bannon's no idiot, but even your basic like boomer mindset, like radio talk show host types, are at least coming around to the idea that like maybe the tail is wagging the dog in this case. I mean, like you couldn't convince them that in 2003.
No.
But now?
Oh, dude, I maybe not yesterday
Or 2001.
at the moment, but a week, 3 weeks, a few months from now, the amount of people that are going to look back on this and be like, yeah, I guess they were right about the Jews, is going to be astonishing.
I know, dude. And that's the thing, is like I'm worried that like how are they gonna spin it? How are they gonna like
They're going to try.
I'm not even as worried as effective of how the spin will be, but it's like because they're already being like, you know, like Trump just saying, "Oh, MAGA's more united than ever," when it like he has to say that because it's clearly not.
It's clearly not.
And like how basically, oh, if you're anti-Israel, you're like Iranian bots. You're this, you're that. All this other nonsense to basically try and trick people into saying, "Oh, you're a spiritual leftist. You're not with Israel. You're a spiritual leftist."
The bot claims are insane. But this is whatever her name is, Berg, is not a small account. I'll pull up her main profile here in a second, but it says, and she's not the only one doing this. Sorry, but you don't get to drop bombs and then pretend like you haven't entered the war, Don.
For real.
This, I mean, she's correct, but what does that mean? And I'll get to that in a second. This isn't my opinion. The entire RGC now sees Trump as an enemy at war with them and will treat the U.S. accordingly. Trump can say that he's out, but they won't agree. I think she's exactly right. But from her perspective, because she disagrees with us, look at her profile. She's arguing for, oh, you haven't done enough. You don't get to just drop bombs and back out. You need to do more. The question is, what does more look like? Yeah, right here. Daniel asks, what more do you want? Oh, nothing. But the mullahs aren't going to be like, okay, then bye then, guys. But it's like, it's never enough for this people. And as soon as you capitulate on one form, they want everything. So any entrance into the war is going to be an act of war as a nation state.
Well, and there's this one caller to the radio show I work at who I genuinely like. He's a good guy. He's a commercial pilot. He's been kind of helping me out with my pilot like journey. But he called in the other week, like right after on the Friday after they first struck Iran. It sounded like he flew through a portal, like from 2001 to today. I mean, it literally was like, these people are evil to their core. They hate America. They want to burn our flag. And we need to kill all of them. And I was like, dude, I can't even explain, like even me putting it into words, it was like, because he's not like a total boomer, you know, he's older, but he's, and it's like, dude, how can anyone be this far behind? How can anybody at this point not get it a little bit? You know what I mean? And I get but the encouraging thing is that's not most people anymore. He is the exception now. Thank God.
There's just some people you're never going to convince. And they are generally older. The vast majority of them are older. But I guess some more recent news. I'm trying to keep up. There's a little bit of an emergency meeting, if you will. Thomas Massie went on Face the Nation and was kind of talking about the Iran bombing. So we'll see what he has to say.
What he promised us was we would put America first. And I think there are still voices in this administration. You've still got J.D. Vance. You've still got Tulsi Gabbard. You still, RFK Jr., you still got calmer heads that could prevail.
They were not persuasive in this case, clearly.
Well, somebody was persuasive. AIPAC is very persuasive. For instance, the Israeli lobby in Congress. If you look at my colleagues' feeds now, they all look the same. They're all tweeting the same message that we've got to support Israel and we've got to do this.
While we stop for? Is that the end? Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, that's it. He drops a couple names in there that I know Josh doesn't agree with.
You still got J.
I think Nick made a point. Is that in the clip? Okay.
About J.D. Vance.
Yeah, Nick made a point about J.D. Vance. We'll talk about that here in a second when we pull the Nick clip up. But I like the new J.D. Vance. Whether it's genuine or not is a different discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm glad we agree on that. That was easy.
Vance, you've still got.
But it seems like Massie is somewhat on board with that.
I don't think.
He name drops Tulsi and J.D. Vance as people that didn't want this to happen.
I think we should go ahead and watch the Nick clip. I think the timing is appropriate.
Okay.
people are passing around this report.
Oh, that's loud. Hold on. Time out. Do I have the? I don't have the.
I can grab it real quick.
Sorry, Chad. Bear with me. I'm busting my eardrums. MMA highlights. Welcome to the stream, brother. Television is a weapon of mass destruction. Yes. Yep. Dude. If the TV man says something, dude, it's true. Everybody knows that. If the TV man told me, they fly Israeli flags on their doors in Congress. Yo, this is a thing that was an issue coming out of the protest like literally a week ago. They were talking about, oh, we don't need to fly foreign flags in America during protests or whatever. And you got basically the entirety of
The GOP.
the GOP flying Israeli flags. It's like, dude, you don't. Yeah, like this. This is what I was looking for. Talking points have been issued. I mean, we talk about flying foreign flags. I mean, they're issuing essentially statements out to influencers to copy and paste. This is the problem. If you're no longer with MAGA because Trump wiped out Iran's nuclear sites, you were never MAGA to begin with. These are all people that were never Trumpers to start with. The vast majority of them were never Trumpers to start with. Almost everybody that was MAGA from day one that supported Trump in 2015 is not on board with this. This is not his base. These people are at best grifters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like professional dick riders. That's, oh gosh, that was a flashbang. Was that the same guy who debated Owen Schroyer?
This hasn't come to fruition yet. Iranian parliament just ordered the closing of the Strait of Hormuz.
Get gas now.
About 20% of global oil production. It's a little over It's a little over. Yeah, okay, over 20%. There you go. It's almost a quarter of all oil production flows through the Strait of Hormuz. It hasn't been pushed yet. They're still waiting on the go ahead from somebody, whoever heads it up. But I think it is going to happen. So you talk about there's no retaliation. It might not be retaliation in sending a nuke to the U.S., but this is obviously going to hurt. I mean, what did Trump run on other than mass deportation? I mean, he ran on lower gas prices. Does bombing Iran lower our gas prices, Josh?
Nope. Quite the opposite, in fact. And here's the thing. The mystery to me about this is where is Trump in all this?
Oh, I made this one, boys.
Is he gung-ho? Literally.
Tell me that's a good one.
I like that one.
I want to hear it in the chat.
We need to trademark that ASAP.
Spinner.
Judah. But basically, like, Trump can't be that naive to how this looks, which is all he cares about, really. I mean, like, where does he believe in this?
The question is...
I mean, it doesn't matter because it's happening either way. I'm just genuinely curious, like, do they have something on him to that degree where they can just make him do this, or is he just been deluded?
Well, it's like the rumor I tossed out a second ago.
You made that one?
Huh? Yeah, I made that one.
That one's funny.
I thought it was too.
That was good.
That's why I made it.
That was good.
You made me forget what I was going to say. Oh, can he escape from this? Yes, but what's going to have to be done is basically not possible at this point. Iran can't retaliate. We get mass deportations. We get lower gas prices. We fix the economy. We get more deportations on top of the mass deportations. It's like everything that he ran on is not possible if we're fighting a war in the Middle East. It's like you can't fight a war on all fronts, especially when one of the fronts is your front yard and you're fighting the one on the other side of the world. The governor, welcome to the stream. I won't vote Republican until they can demonstrate to me that they have more loyalty to the U.S. than Israel.
I like it, Governor. That's my mindset. I know you
mean,
disagree. Well, not necessarily. but
I don't know, man. I don't necessarily disagree. I think you have a duty to vote, but the problem is you only have two choices.
Now here's the thing, and I'd recommend
What-
watching
okay,
the leather.
okay, here's a thought process.
You gotta
Go ahead.
let me finish.
No.
You gotta watch the Leather Apron Club video on it, because his argument in it is there's more ways to be politically active than voting. So being politically active and not voting is arguably doing more than voting for the lesser of two evils. You know what I mean? Basically making the argument.
Maybe we'll watch that
if you-
video one day.
I think we should.
Okay.
I think it'd be good.
We can do that. What was I going to say? Oh, I guess to float this question, would it be better? Would it have been better had Kamala been president? I guess the question is, what difference would we be at 5 months in? We're 5 months in. We're like 153 days into the presidency. What difference would a Kamala Harris presidency look like?
Now, this is something Nick argued for before, which was if Kamala was president, this would happen either way. I think we agree. I think we agree on that.
I agree.
This would put the Democrat reputation so far in the tank. And let's be honest, most of the conservatives are only in favor of this right now because Trump is the one doing it. If Kamala was doing it, the exact same people crying about terrorists, like the same boomers that
Even
are calling into my show.
2015 Trump did.
Yeah. They'd be calling into the show saying, Trump is the no new wars guy. If he had won, we wouldn't be doing this, and they'd be gung-ho against it. And it would galvanize both bases of the Democrat and Republicans against Israel. But Trump is massaging the base into another war. And the good news is like people your age and younger aren't falling for it. That's the only good thing. But I do agree. I think that Kamala winning would be better long term. Would have been better long term.
I mean, we'll have to see how it plays out. But I mean, I think what Vladimir Putin say, I've seen presidents come and go, but the black suits remain the same. Meaning the bureaucracy is going to be there, and it's going to dictate policy. It's going to dictate the direction of the country. It's going to dictate wars, regardless of who's sitting in the presidential seat.
Right.
If Trump was a monarch, do you think he would have done this? I'd say it would be less likely.
Less likely. But
give me a king. Let's go, boys.
That's why I'm genuinely curious where his heart is in this. Because he is a boomer. He might be bought into the post-war narrative.
Worse is better long term. Oh, is he talking about you?
Ninja just doesn't like being wrong all the time.
Worse is better long term.
It is.
Meaning Josh is an accelerationist.
It's strategic.
It's accelerationism.
And I'm not saying, like, obviously, I think in a lot of ways we're better off with Trump, but in a lot of ways we're not. It was a lose-lose is my point.
Bro, check this out. You want to see grifting? This is textbook grifting, and you'll probably see this pop up on a lot of people's videos, feeds, or whatever. This is a Hodge twins on. This is just one of the Twitter posts that they had among a plethora of them. Let's just take a look at them. Wow, that is huge. Hold on. They say, looks like the Pentagon's right. Neocons that got the U.S. bombs dropped on Iran for Israel like they wanted, blah, 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 pro-war or anti-war. They don't want to go to war with Israel. They're anti-war. Everybody, they're anti-war on Twitter. Everybody got that? This isn't a single tweet. This is many tweets. Now we have a produced Facebook post that says, President Trump just unleashed American might over ordering a devastating attack on Iran's nuclear sites, blah, 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 crushing their dangerous ambitions. For 14 years, Trump's been crystal clear. Iran cannot have nukes. And he's followed through on a historic strike.
This is also by the
Hodge twins. Both on their verified accounts. This is Facebook. So
what? I'm honestly not sure what to make of it because they've been pretty outspoken against it. You think like their influence on, or they're paid, or what's going on? What do you?
Facebook is driven by boomer engagement. This is boomer engagement.
Oh, you're saying the Hodge twins are grifting?
I'm not saying it. They're saying it.
Because I was like,
I mean, this isn't even close.
I don't follow them on social. I just see their content, and their content has been pretty anti-Israel lately. So like, I was shocked to see that. I was thinking like, were they hacked? What's going on? I mean,
welcome to Grifting 101, boys.
I guess
this is
so.
how you do it. You go to Facebook, you post Nancy Mace memes, and you engage with the boomer. Oh, they can't even see it on there. Here, let me look just to show you. Can I scroll? No. Why can't I? Anyway, trust me, it's Hodge Twins verified account on Facebook, and this is them on Twitter. There, you can kind of see that one. I mean, chat. These are the grifters. You know, somebody asked a second ago, who do you trust? What information you trust? This one right here. Don't trust. Yeah, I was putting out some bangers the other day, dude. Yesterday.
Hold on, let me see that one. I was told Kushner wasn't running Middle Eastern policy this administration. Who lied?
I mean, yeah.
Kushner astral projecting into possessing Trump from 666 Avenue in New York City.
I said we're peaceful now. Dude, Twitter's got some bangers, dude. Who posted this? Autism Capital. Yeah. I don't know. We'll jump into the Nick video real quick. You said it's long? How long is it?
I don't know. Like, I would say 15 minutes tops.
Let me see
Probably
if I
10.
can make it big enough to see. Boom.
Because I tried screen recording it.
It was long.
It was long.
They say that J.D. Vance said privately that Israel's drawing us into the war. Make no mistake about it. And I'm going to tell you this now, and you better listen. I was right about this a year ago. I was right about a lot of things. I've been on the money for 10 years. Now listen to what I'm telling you now, because this is the next deception. There was this big report out today. I'll pull it up, actually. There's the story they're pushing now, and this is the most important thing from this stream. Mark my words. You want another prediction 3 years in advance? Here it is. There's a report being passed around this week, today. It says, during a call, Vice President J.D. Vance pushed back, saying the United States should not be directly involved and suggesting the Israelis would drag the country into war. Make no mistake about it, this is a planted story. J.D. Vance is going to run in 2028. He wants to be the president. He is going to run in 2028. Trump is a lame duck. Vance is the vice president. He is the heir apparent and the successor. Vance knows the base is going to hate this. He is positioning himself in advance of the strikes as an opponent. He stood right behind Trump, and you just saw it. He will be with the president. He's been with the president. But he says in this report that has been planted in the press, oh, I'm against it. The Israelis are dragging me into the war. And the shills that supported Trump last year and said he's not going to take us to war in Iran, they're all passing this around and saying, see, Vance is based. This is what he said last year. This was the day that he was nominated.
Regardless of if it's a planted story, what is being said is base, whether it's genuine or not.
Just keep watching.
You keep watching.
As the vice president.
I will.
This was the same day at the convention that he was announced as the vice presidential nominee. Listen to this.
The most important part, I think, of the Trump doctrine in foreign policy is you don't commit America's troops unless you really have to. But when you do, you punch and you punch hard. I think that's the way that you respect America's brave men and women who are serving. Now, let me say something about...
When you say that, does that, like, for example, how President Trump beat the caliphate? It was overwhelming force, and it was done pretty fast.
How President Trump beat the caliphate, beat ISIS, which people said literally couldn't be done, and he did it in a matter of months. But also Iran, Sean. A lot of people recognize that we need to do something with Iran, but not these weak little bombing runs. If you're going to punch the Iranians, you punch them hard, and that's what he did when he took out Soleimani. By the way, that action, people said that it would lead to broader war. It actually brought peace. It actually checked the Iranians and slowed them down a little bit.
Clearly. So this is the next thing. You want another prediction from the guy that was right about Israel and the Jews, the guy that was right about race and IQ and mass migration and the Groyper War and all of it. And now this. You want another prediction hot off the presses? This is a planted story. He's going to run. And these people on Twitter are being paid to shill him. They are on his team already. J.D. Vance is the protege of Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel hooked him up from beginning until now.
All right, you can pause it real quick because he kind of goes into the history of Vance.
I don't necessarily disagree with...
I do think we should finish it, but I want to get... Because I think we're not on the same page on this.
Why wouldn't we be on the same page? I don't disagree with any of it.
Because here's... The problem is you say...
It's a possibility.
It's a possibility, but at least what he's saying is based. That's what got us into this situation. And granted, I don't think anyone could have predicted Trump. I think Trump was a genuine good faith actor back in 2015. But my point is Trump. I
disagree. I think Trump was an inevitability. Whether it was Trump or someone else, it would.
No. I think Trump was an inevitability. What I'm saying is. No one could, we could not have predicted the level, that Trump would be the one to get us into a war with Iran back in 2015, because he was running on that the Iraq war was a mistake. And now he's getting us into the Iran war, which is arguably worse. So my point being, if Donald Trump, who was running in good faith against the legacy of the Iraq war and is now getting us into war with Iran, J.D. Vance, who is obviously bought and paid for, who is not MAGA. He is not. I know you and I kind of disagree, but he's not MAGA. He is in it for himself. He's not America first. He's married to a freaking Jeet, like Gunner said, and he's got 2 brown kids named Vivek and who gives a good gunga, who knows? And the point being is, like Nick was saying, this is obviously they're not. None of this exists in a vacuum. Netanyahu, they all realize that this is unpopular. Damn, this is not 2001. It's not going down as easy as it did the first time. They will adapt their strategy, and they're already doing it by positioning. Vance can come out and say, I was never in favor of the Iran war in 2028. But the point being is he's gonna run on that, and the vast majority of us are going to fall for it because, once again, but what is he going to do? And again, I can't even predict what the Israelis will want by then. I mean, obviously, the Iran war is kind of their big baddie, which is even more concerning because...
What's left after Iran?
Well, exactly. It's what are they going to ask for and demand of us then? And J.D. Vance is going to give it to them. It's going to be even more tasty going down because of J.D. Vance. That's what's concerning to me, is what Nick argues, and I agree with, is... We need to actually, and when I say we, I mean, I know you and I agree on this, but we need to identify the problem, which is the Jewish lobby.
Yes.
And
I would say it's even beyond the Jewish lobby.
J.D. Vance is a part of it. Peter Thiel's a part of it, and J.D. can barely get Peter's hoo-ha out of his mouth. Zeb is starting to look like the Cookie Monster.
I guess because I need to shave. I do need to trim up, man. My fat face because I'm eating too much. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of ways to take that one.
Wait, guys, it's the U.S. empire. Do you really think that they're going to give control of that? You're right, Nick Mack.
Yeah. Nick says, guys, the U.S. is the empire. It's the U.S. empire. You really think they're just going to give control to whoever it's owned? Yeah, it's owned. And Josh dropped the Israel lobby. I don't I would go beyond. It's just the Israel lobby.
It's all of them.
It's all of them. They're a monolith, and to deny that is delusional.
Yeah, and it's like, I think George Carlin is overrated as hell, but he was talking about like conspiracy theories on some show, and the guy was like, "You really think there's like this club where they get together?" And he goes, "There doesn't need to be a club. These people all went to the same schools. They all went to the same universities. They go to the same churches. They don't have to meet up.
They
in
all have
robes.
right of return.
They believe the same thing." And October 7th was a perfect indicator of that, because even liberal Jews like Bill Ackman came to the side of Donald Trump, and they bought him the election. And they bought him. They bought his soul.
Yeah,
And look look what they're paying. Look what they.
You don't
they've
see
got
me
what they paid
denying
for
any
it.
of that.
Sure.
I mean, and you're probably correct on JD Vance. But I guess JD Vance is an indicator, is a canary in the coal mine, if you will, that we are winning, and they have to capitulate to our positions, and we need to keep advancing on those fronts.
But that
make JD Vance anti-Semitic so that he has to get elected. How about that one, Josh? Let's just keep pushing till JD Vance has to come out as anti-Semitic to win an election.
JD Vance.
That's what's going to happen. If we keep bombing Iran, if we keep being Israel's little workhorse, they're going to have to come out as anti-Semitic to win an election in the future.
It's never going to happen.
You're right.
It's not from JD Vance.
Well, not from JD Vance, but I don't think it's...
Anyone know any Austrian painters? I'm kidding. I'm not.
US, UK, and Israel working together, shared intel. Yeah, I don't know how much involvement the UK had, but yeah. I mean, obviously the US and Israel did. I mean, I think, was it Massey? I think Massey was trying to explain the difference between the CIA and Mossad, and he basically said there's no difference. The CIA and Mossad are the same thing. There's no separating, no defining factor across the board.
There's no meaningful difference. They're completely infiltrated. They're the same thing.
Yeah, we got Khan, dude. We got Khan. We got Khan by the Khan man.
He was the Trump Trojan horse. They used him.
But yeah, I was talking about this the other day on Twitter with somebody. It was like, somebody said something. I don't know. I responded with, all politicians are used car salesmen from the 80s with nicer suits. They all are, dude. And this is the problem. There's another aspect this is what I was thinking about earlier when we were talking. I forgot about it. Was a thing I disagree with the founding fathers on is that you need to require military service for any public office, to hold any public office. During their time, I guess it wasn't that big of a deal because everybody was just expected to be military, but it wasn't. I mean, U.S. has never had that.
You think they should?
Yes. Now, where we are now, hold on. Before you start, where we are now, no.
Okay.
70, 80 years ago, yes.
Okay, yeah. Exactly. Like,
it's a stabilizing force in the governing of a country.
In a hypothetical world where we weren't in this situation, yeah, I absolutely agree with that. But the problem is our military we're
here
totally
now.
Fagified.
Yeah, it's like we're here now. Like, how do you can't just close the border and expect the immigration to fix itself. No, you have to deport people. We're already here now. You can't just balance the budget and expect debt to go away. We're already here now. You can't expect, I don't know, pick another one. You can't expect I don't know. What other issue do we have? You can't expect inflation to stop.
Yeah.
We're already here now. It's like you have to address the problems that are here, and this is probably my main issue with libertarians. Like I would agree with you largely in principle, but the problem is that the problems are already here. You're trying to prevent a problem that already exists. The governor. The Israel partnership with the U.S. will lose at least 50% of conservative voters in the midterm, maybe not for 2028 elections.
I'm going to be honest with you.
50's high number, dude.
I don't
The only
think so.
way
I don't
we
think
lose
so.
those numbers is time and boomers start to look like this.
Now let's put a little poll in chat.
Can we do that?
I don't know.
I can do it on
I
here.
was
Go ahead.
just kind of saying one's if you agree, two's if you don't. Would America be a better place if the only two people allowed to vote were Zeb and myself? And we'll throw in.
I know the answer to that. I know the answer.
And if you're in the outside the Overton chat, you we'll let you guys have a couple pity votes too. Though it's only 3/5 of Zeb and myself's vote.
How do I
One's
add
in
a
chat.
poll?
If
Can I add a
yes,
poll?
2 and no. Ninja, I love it, Ninja. We
It's not
finally
letting me
agree
add a
on
poll.
something.
No.
The
But
governor,
yeah.
the governor's in. He's in on it.
Nick Mack, what's up, brother? What was it? I was vacuuming. Not sure what you're asking.
This is America.
All right, let's dive into. Oh, we still got to finish up some of this Nick clip. How long is this?
Okay,
thing?
so what he goes into now is Vance's connection to Peter Thiel. So if you want to go into that, we can. But if not, we can move on.
J.D. Vance met Peter Thiel in law
fast
school,
forward? Can you fast
and Thiel
forward?
has been his patron ever since. Peter
Yeah. Well,
Thiel
I don't know
got
if
him
you
his
can
first
fast forward
job
by
in
time,
Silicon
but you
Valley.
should be able to see
Peter Thiel
the
got him a job
time
at his
code and drag it, but it's not coming up. I don't see it for us.
Instagram's gay.
Very true. So I'm on it.
Let's see here, boys. Where are we at? Zoom out a little bit. I was gonna cover some other stuff. Oh, I see. This is a clip that Nick had brought up.
Foreign policy is you don't commit America's troops unless you really have to, but when you do, you punch and you punch hard. I think
Dang,
that's the
you
way that you
kinda do
respect
look
America's
similar.
brave men and women who are serving. Now let me say something
The
about
face structure, y'all got big old like
President Trump beat the
cheeks.
caliphate. It was overwhelming force, and it was done pretty fast.
How President Trump beat the
Your
caliphate, beat ISIS, which people said
forehead
it
and
literally
hairline's
couldn't
a
be
little
done, and
different.
he did it in a matter of months. But also
And the
Iran,
bright blue
Sean,
eyes are
a
kinda
lot of
creepy
people
on him.
recognize that we need to do something with Iran, but not
He does have
these
some
sweet
blue eyes,
little
dude.
bombing
Yeah,
runs.
like
If you're gonna
jealous.
punch the
I see
Iranians,
kinda
you
jealous.
I
punch
see
hard,
some
and that's
memes
what
where
he
it's
did
like
when he
people
took
with
out
blue
Soleimani.
eyes
By
staring
the
into
way,
soul, and
that
I've got
actually
blue
made my
eyes,
forehead
said that it
but
completely
he's
brought
got
war.
like
It actually
the
brought
like soul
peace. It actually
piercing blue
checked
eyes.
the Iranians and slowed them down a little bit.
All right. Anyway,
You don't have A10 eyes.
I don't have 18 eyes. My dad does.
What happened to you?
I don't know, man. We talked about that. We talked about the Strait of Hormuz. This is
Your son has blue eyes, doesn't he?
his hair. They're turning brown.
They're turning brown.
Yeah, they all. Yeah, most kids' eyes turn darker as they get a little bit older. This is Dmitry, deputy chair of Russia's Security Council, claims several countries are now prepared to directly support Iran with their own nuclear warheads following U.S. attack. I don't know how much I believe this, but why wouldn't they? If the U.S. giving Israel bombs is not the U.S. going to war, then is Russia giving Iran bombs Russia going to war?
It would be in our book. And by ours, I mean the State Department.
See, this is the thing. We don't apply the standard across the board. Like, it's okay when we do it, which is fine, but don't then deny that we just went to war.
Yeah. If you could, I mean, you don't have to. I mean, everyone's seen it by now. But like the Trump tweet where he announced that they had struck,
I'm gonna try to pull it
now is the time for peace. Fuck you.
Hey, I know
Are
I
you a
just, I know I
retard?
just robbed you and like shot your dog, but peace, truce.
Literally,
Truce?
tag, no tag backs. Literally.
Let's see what.
Have you seen
let's see
that?
what
Have you seen
Rubio's
that
talking
guy
about.
on Twitter that like he he does like dances, like Cardi B dances on Lyndon B. Johnson's grave. Have you not seen that guy?
No, I haven't seen that
We
guy.
got to do that when Trump dies. We're gonna go to Trump's grave and
God.
sing WAP on.
Donald Trump has been
dancing on his
clear-eyed
grave.
and full of resolve about the Iranian threat for 20 years. He has always said you can't have peace if Iran has a nuclear weapon. And I would also say that my observations of him over the last few months
Well, we haven't had peace, and Iran still hasn't had a nuclear weapon. It's like these people make no sense. They just say things.
are that things are running quite smoothly over in the White House and at the Pentagon. Look what happened. The deception that was involved here, no leaks, the resolve, the precision, execution. We have a commander-in-chief right now who is decisive and who knows how to operate a government and operate a military operation with absolute precision. The level of deterrence that this will put throughout the world that our enemies should be perceiving is very, very high. This is a great day for this president, and it's a great day for the world because he's making us safe for Western civilization. Donald Trump.
You
Yeah,
may
yeah,
as
Josh.
well. You may as well chop off your son's head and mail it to this guy. Because I mean, like, just get it over with. You know, just speed up the process.
Yeah, Josh. If you wrong think, we're gonna bomb you. Don't think about the uranium.
This is very
Don't think about it. Don't think about the nukes. We'll bomb you.
This is
Is
very
Marco
simple.
Rubio gay? Do you think so?
He's Marco Rubio, dude.
I heard a rumor, and he's got a
Who's
little
not
gay
gay?
face.
Who's not gay? Who's a non-gay neocon?
Lindsey Graham?
No, Lindsey Graham's gay. Definitely gay.
Simple. Let's meet. This is very simple. The president wants to resolve this diplomatically and peacefully. He gave them a chance to do that. They delayed. They had all these kind of delay tactics. They wouldn't even meet with us directly. We had to go through.
They got bombed
You fucking
by Israel.
idiot. I'm sorry
Again,
for the
this
language.
is back
I'm
to
trying
my
be
theory.
better.
This is back to my theory. Israel bombed them. They retaliated because they didn't think so. They said Israel thought, oh, the U.S. is on our side. We're going to bomb Iran, and they're not going to retaliate. Surprise, they did. Oh no, they have too many missiles. We can't block them with our Iron Dome. Hey, Daddy U.S. Either I release the Epstein files or you take out a lot of their missiles. And what do, Josh? We take out a significant portion of their missiles so they can't overrun the Iron Dome.
Well, and he goes, well, they were dragging their feet. Israel bombed them, and then Trump said he was in on it, and that it was all a ploy to trick them into lowering their defenses so that they could bomb them. And then he goes, now we got to sue for peace, which was clearly a lie. It was clearly a lie.
Third countries. This is very simple. Let's meet directly. Let's work on agreements that are good for Iran, and good for the Iranian people in particular, good for the safety and security of the world and the United States. That's always been our preference. That continues to be our preference. But they're the ones that were playing games with us. And these are the consequences. We had to achieve those objectives. We had three objectives yesterday.
He's got like fish face.
He does, yeah.
Natanz and Esfahan. We conducted a brilliant military operation under the command of President Trump, and obviously great credit to Secretary Hegseth and General Carrillo.
Okay.
Is it a requirement in D.C. that you have to have 6-inch ears to like run for office?
I don't know, man.
I mean, I've
like
never
that.
seen someone in my life with ears as big as him, Netanyahu. You see all these politicians and their ears are like half of their head. Maybe it's so they can like.
I think it comes with age.
I mean, how old is he? He's got to be like in his 50s.
No.
And
Marco Rubio?
Okay, well,
How old is he?
40s? And you're in your early to mid 30s, and your ears are kind of the same size as mine.
54.
54. There you go. And like, look, your ears.
I got normal ears. Marco Rubio's got Dumbo ears.
That's the point.
Do you know why we have bases in Bahrain and Qatar and UAE and all these places? All of those bases are there because those countries are afraid that Iran will attack them.
There's another thing. They had to keep changing the his title in this interview depending on which response he gave. U.S. Secretary of State. I think another one was national security advisor.
Iran
and
was
then they
not
had
a threat
another
to the
one.
region. If the Iranian regime, because I'm talking about the Iranian people, the regime was not a threat to the region, we wouldn't have to have any of these bases. Those bases are there because those countries are petrified that that the Iranian Shia clerics that run that country will attack their country.
Will the United
As you
States
know, they've
defend
got
them
a
if they
very
are?
difficult history. Well, that's why we're there. That's why we're there.
So,
but
yes,
they'll
we
attack
will
us,
defend
is
them.
what they're threatening to do. So we'll defend our people, obviously. We'll defend our people. Well, they'll attack our bases. And those are our bases, and we're going to defend our personnel, and we're prepared to do that. But we'll do more than just defend. We'll impose costs on Iran if they attack American personnel, whether they do it directly or whether they do it through some of these proxies that they try to hide behind. And that includes the Houthis.
Yeah.
So another proxy of theirs. So, but let's hope they don't choose that route. Let's all hope that they actually decide, okay, let's go negotiate, because we want a diplomatic and peaceful solution. We have achieved our objectives. We're ready to negotiate this in a peaceful, diplomatic way. We've been prepared to do that for days. They are the ones that played games, as they have done for 40 years, as they have done to multiple presidents. They tried to play games with presidents.
They want to say anything they can to get out of saying, yeah, we're starting a war. Yeah, we're starting a war in the Middle East.
They were getting too close. They simply would not.
Yeah, Israel was threatening to kill the Ayatollah. And they're like, let's sue for peace now.
What we were looking for? The original tweet?
I do not know.
Yeah, somewhere. Jeez. This is what he posted: the American flag after he bombed Iran. It's like, come on, man. What did I tell you the other day? You always fly a flag after victory. All right, here it goes. Trump post: we have successfully completed our very we have completed our very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordo, Natanz, Isfahan. All planes are now outside of the Iranian airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordo. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not another military in the world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention to this matter. What were you saying about this one?
Now is the time for peace.
Oh.
He just started a war, dumbass.
A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site. Peace. We want peace, or we'll do it again, or we want peace. It's your choice.
Iran
what does
is a
peace look
bunch-
like?
if Iran, if you retaliate, you're gay. You're stupid.
What does peace look like?
It doesn't exist. Like, how is Iran not supposed to retaliate? I mean, unless he completely destroyed their infrastructure and ability to, which they haven't, because there's a bunch of them here. They're close to American bases. It's impossible. It doesn't make any sense. He's an idiot. He's an idiot
If
or
we
a
weren't
liar.
at peace last week, what does peace next week look like? Peace doesn't exist in this context.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very excited to go to work tomorrow because I mean, this is what we're gonna be talking about, and say that personally, I'm happy I did not vote for Donald Trump, and that all of the
You need to
boomers-
rub it in, dude.
I'm excited.
How much coke you think is going to come out? Ooze.
I
It's gonna ooze out of the things.
genuinely, I don't know what's going to happen. There's a part of me that thinks that they'll admit, or not they, but Ken might, but it's not going to be a full "you were right." It's going to be, if they're, truthfully, it will probably be cope. It'll probably be like, oh, this was a bad decision, but here's the good that'll come from it.
Nice. Build back better. Big, beautiful bill. Basically. I mean, it seems, what's the difference at this point?
Honestly,
dude?
I think-
At this point, what difference does it make? What's that from?
What difference does it make? I think I don't think that's from anything.
It's from a movie. At this point, what difference does it make? Oh no, it's from it's Hillary Clinton talking about Benghazi.
Oh.
After she killed 13 Marines, it's like, at this point, what difference does it make? The war's already started. At this point, what difference does it make whether I bombed Iran when it was peaceful or not? At this point, what difference does it make whether they had nukes or not?
No, you pull up Nubto's last comment.
Who cares, Josh? You read it.
Who cares, Josh? You're a POS. Now that I just insulted you, it's time for peace, okay? Literally, dude. Literally, he's like, Iran, you're a bunch of stinky poo-poo heads, and I'm gonna kill you. And I did kill a bunch of your people. What's your problem, man? Why aren't you coming to the peace talks, man?
Hey, dude, you want to fight? You want to
good?
fight? You want to fight? Let me shoot you in the leg. Pow. Okay, fight's over. Peace. Truce. Truce. It's so crazy, dude. Like peace. Like genuinely.
Thomas Matthew Crooks save it. No, I'm kidding. That one might get us in trouble.
Well, it's like they want to leverage. They want to leverage that Donald Trump was spared by God to protect Israel from Iran, or they want to leverage that Donald Trump was protected by God to save the American people. But it's like maybe he was spared by God for justice on America because we've abandoned him. How about that one?
Honestly, I kind of get it.
We've abandoned Christ. We've abandoned God as the American people since like 1950, maybe a couple years prior. And we've got the blessings that we deserve, Josh.
We're reaping what we sow. Ancestral curses.
Yeah, I tweeted out, Ted Cruz was talking about those who bless Israel will be blessed. It was like, if Ted believes in blessings and curses, let's like visit Genesis 9. The double portion of blessing that Japheth got. The blessing that Shem got. And the curse that Canaan got. How about let's revisit that. Let's see Ted Cruz's position on that one. You don't even know what I'm talking about, do you? The curse of Ham.
That they're black.
Genesis 9. Yeah.
Yeah. He turned them into black people.
Can Josh take over for like 2 minutes?
Uh-oh.
Josh, can you take over for like 2 minutes?
Baby trouble. Yeah, I got you.
I'll be right back. Boom.
And that's enough for today. We're going to end today's... No, I'm kidding. Give me a second here, guys, while I grab all this shenanigans. That just goes with the process of being a baby daddy. Zeb's got to run off every now and then and take care of things. But, all right, guys. What do we do, man? Honestly, what do y'all think about this? I'm concerned. There's a part of me that's like hopeful for the future, because this is so bad. This is not good. And Zeb and I, and Zeb especially, he's talked about this before on the show, where it's like, we don't really feel like we're at war because it's not happening here. Hold on. Hold on. Thank you, Nubto. Darn mouse. Oh, crap. Show derailed. But basically, damn, we don't really feel like we're at war because it's happening over there. But like, this is something, and I'm a Groiper. I'm a Nick Fuentes Glazer, full unabashed. I'm not embarrassed. This is something he brings up that I think is worth thinking about, is basically what would happen if we did not get into the Iraq war? What would happen if we weren't getting involved in all these Middle East situations? Because some of you guys are old. I'm not. I was 3 years old when 9/11 happened, but some of you guys are old enough to remember, I'm sure, where the United States was in the world stage before 9/11, like after the fall of the Soviet Union, before 9/11, we were the top dog by far. And look where all of this nonsense has gotten us. And look at all the literal bags that are running our country right now. It's crazy, dude. And it's only going downhill. The thing is like, this is where like I get nervous, because when we see stuff like this, I mean, I don't think people realize how close to World War III we actually are. Because you got to understand, and a lot of you guys probably know this, I'm probably preaching to the choir here, but Iran is a proxy for Russia and China. They're allied with Russia and China. We're at war with, the United States is at war with Russia, with Ukraine as our proxy. Now we're at war with Russia and China, with Iran as their proxy. Israel's got us by the balls, and we're going to do whatever they say. And China is positioning itself to invade Taiwan. You think anyone in the State Department is going to stop there? We are going to destroy ourselves trying to remain at the peak of the idea of America. What's the expression? What's the word I'm thinking of here? Unipolar. As the unipolar power, it's over. It's over. And honestly, the only hope I really have, because Zeb, I think, has a more accelerated timeline than I do. He's coming back in right now. But Zeb thinks a lot of the changes, like almost like the world as we see it, will happen within the next 20 years. Is that fair? I think it's going to be the next 100 years. I don't think we're going to see it in our lifetime. Your sons may not even see it in theirs, if it happens at all. But I mean, honestly, I think it is nice to see that the Zoomers are like basically against Israel completely. But honestly, I think it's going to get a whole lot worse before it gets better.
All I heard was Josh was glazing Nick in here or something. That's all I heard.
I'm an unabashed man. I mean, he's right about everything. Name one thing he's wrong about.
I told you I need to do some research. I know he's wrong about things. Nick isn't right about everything.
If you can show me the
I don't want to do that
receipts.
to you, though. I don't want to do it to you. Then what you gonna glaze?
You, I guess. The Lord.
Gary said, "What was Zeb going to say about genuinely?"
He typed that in right as you left, and I don't remember what you were talking about.
Respond. Put it back in chat, and I'll let you know whatever the question was. I don't. Josh, the main character. Don't let Zeb steal glory.
I am the main character. What can I say, man?
Listen, chat. I could take all of it if I wanted to, but I don't, because I'm not that person. Let me tell you a little story. Since I think we've kind of got past this little Iran-Israel thing, and if anybody wants, does anybody in the chat want to zoom in? We could open up to 1 or 2 Zoom calls a day. You got time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Chat, if you want to zoom in, just let me know and I'll throw the link in chat. Let me tell you a little story. In the Marine Corps, there's hierarchy of rank. And when you go to sniper school, you are paired with a partner. And so I had a partner, and there's an issue in communication. It breaks down when you have a vertical hierarchy. And so my partner was what you call a boot, very fresh. And had seniority, and he was a good Marine, so he respected that hierarchy. But that's an issue when you're partners in sniper school. You want to be able to have that clear communication. You don't want to have an overbearing person that doesn't get checked when they're wrong. Does that make sense? So like if I fire a shot and I say specifically, this actually happened, and I say 0.5 right, meaning direction, move 0.5 right because we're adjusting for wind, because he missed 0.5 right. And so if he adjusts another 0.5 right, he's going to be a full 1 right. And so he didn't question me. He just adjusted 0.5 right. And so instead of being on target, he was another full 1 off to the right. And so I tried to mitigate that in there needs to be a more horizontal communication and less vertical communication. Why are you smiling?
Me?
Yeah. Was it something in chat?
The talent cope over here.
Talent cope?
You could take. I mean, you're definitely better at studio building. I think, and because I was talking with my dad, because as you know, my Saturday show got canceled for being anti-Israel.
Josh is going to get fired for being associated with me. Basically,
I keep getting canceled. I keep not. It didn't have anything to do with you.
I know. I'm messing.
But my dad was saying, I think we complement each other well. I mean, honestly, like, I don't see us being able to do it on our own as well. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. Well, we wouldn't be able to toss it back and forth. One, you wouldn't have differing opinions, which I appreciate, and I think Chad appreciates. That's why they're here. And then you wouldn't have, I don't know. It would just be more streamlined.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, it would just be like everybody else's show. I don't want to be like everybody else, Josh.
We're better than everyone else. They just
it would
haven't
just
realized
take it would
yet.
take a lot more prep than I want to put in. We wouldn't be able to do it every day because I don't have a 5-man production crew back here to look up all the information for us and do some research. We'll get there one day, boys. Don't worry. We are going to start doing solo shows, so we'll see how that goes.
It's not a competition.
Then we'll
Zach.
find out. Huh?
It's not a competition.
Huh, Nubtoes?
But if it were,
like Trump only watching Fox is surrounded by neocons. Yeah, I mean this is well, it's not just Fox. It's the Daily Wire. I mean you can watch Michael Knowles every day, but you're only getting a singular perspective. Where you can watch Matt Walsh every day. I mean there's no real questioning in the information that is being given, and so whatever take is given is the take you propagandize yourself into believing. Yes, kinda.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, I don't see. They don't get to go look to the side and say right or retarded.
Retarded. You're retarded.
You know the that's what we need to do. we need to what was one of them? The dude would always eat some. I think he was a Mexican dude out of prison. He would always say, it's like boom or doom, or what was the other ones? There was a bunch of them.
Oh,
cap or slap, or
yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Right or retarded. I'm talking. We just address different opinions every day.
We got to do our debate show.
Which one?
The one where we sit over there and we keep teasing the audience with debates about evolution. What is the soul? Because I know we disagree on those two things.
How about this? Willem
Dafoe.
How about this? We'll do a members only live stream of a debate, and then I'll release it to the public. Like I said earlier in the show, if you're just joining us, the membership is live. You can join for $2 a month. $2 a month. I'm a shield $2 a month.
It's gonna be like Ted Cruz and Tucker Carlson, where you're gonna be like, "How many DNA strands has it taken?" And we're like, "I don't know. You don't know that."
I don't know. But yeah, if y'all, I mean, I'm not asking you to, but it is open if you do want to support us.
And Evo, bro.
Huh?
Nubto's last comment. He said he forgot that I was an Evo, bro.
Nubto says, serious note, what do you think about the idea of Overton women being allowed to expand for a time to identify the problem people before clamping down again? Josh has a take. We've addressed this, but I'll do it real quick, I guess.
Basically, that you're right. Where, like, it is inevitable that the population will have pushback, but the problem is the population, the masses aren't really capable of monitoring these things as closely as they need to actually understand things. So when you get Trump as a natural, like Zeb and I were talking about before, when you get Trump as a natural reaction to the Obama administration years, the establishment tried to get rid of him but couldn't because that was what the people wanted. That is what the people were yearning for. However, they adapted to it. You know what I mean? They basically like, you know, Marco Rubio ran against Donald Trump and now he's in his administration. They shapeshift their views, they chameleon their faces and everything to capitulate to what the people want and inevitably bring the people back around to exactly where they were before. I mean, look, it's been almost 10 years of Donald Trump, 10 years of MAGA, and now we're at war with Iran. So I think you're absolutely right, Nubtoes. I think yes, they'll allow it to bend, and then they just like Zeb talks about with language, they just give everything different names, but it's the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that they have to do. I don't think they have a choice to expand the overtime window, but you're right. They do clamp down. They do this all the time with smaller bills or smaller policies where they want to ratchet strap, right? They'll let out as much as they want to, like a fishing rod, and then reel it in a little bit, and then they got you. They got you, Josh. And so it's just a ratchet strap policy on at scale across the board. It is going to be clamped down. I think the question really is when they try to reclose this Overton window, is there going to be too many people outside of the window that it busts when it happens? And I think that's what we're going to come to. They just can't. The decentralization of media doesn't allow them to control the narrative, and therefore they can't control the Overton window. So when they do want to clamp down on it, whether that's through J.D. Vance in 2028 or whatever, I think there's going to be too many people outside of where they're trying to clamp down on that they lose it entirely.
So let me ask you, do you think
yes,
that they would kill Nick?
Would I kill Nick if I were establishment? Yes.
Well, at what point do you think it'll come to that? I mean, because honestly,
I'm surprised they haven't yet. I mean, who replaces Nick? It's like if they kill Trump, who replaces Trump?
You wouldn't have an equivalent. There's nobody else at that level, in my opinion.
Nick's a plant because he hasn't been killed yet. Boom, dropped it. Boom, dropped it. I need to get me a grenade,
I
man.
think Zeb doesn't like Nick because he's the only Mexican that's smarter than him.
Does anybody want to? I'll throw the Zoom in the chat. Is Lord of the Ring around? He was saying he was going to Zoom in Thursday, but he had to push it back. But if he's around, we could definitely do it today.
And you don't have to show your face. You can turn off your camera just so we can hear your voice, and we'll make that. I think Malarkey did that. We can make that happen.
Yeah, we can make that happen. Nick said, Chris said Nick had a lot of viewers in his last night. Maybe soon. Dude, Nick's had a lot of viewers for a long time. I mean, I was listening to Nick back in like 2017, 2018, like when he had to shift over to D Live and
their stuff. But it's
Lemons and Lamborghinis. I don't know if y'all remember that.
It's been getting a lot of traction though.
Has it?
Lately? So what kind of got you off the train with him?
Time. I just didn't have time in the evenings, and then.
No. I mean, like, why? Like you said, he's wrong about stuff. Like, what kind of? Because you know me, I like his content. I think he's right about most things.
I mean, I think he's right about most things.
Oh, okay, all right.
I mean, I don't disagree with Nick on very much at all.
Oh, okay, all right.
I disagree with some of his optic choices, which I mean we've talked about before. I disagree with the Ye heavily. I disagree with the Ye. I disagree with the Sneeko pairing up, which obviously came around and kind of bit him in the ass a little bit. I disagree with Aiden Ross. I disagree with some of the other guys, but you guys are hot. Yeah, I need to turn the AC down a little bit, dude.
What is Nub to? No, he's wrong about fat chicks.
What to do? What? What does he say about fat chicks?
I don't know. I probably that they're fat and they're really not worth being with.
I mean, I guess you could say the same thing about me and doing a video with Myron, but I don't think those are equivalent.
Yeah,
I like Myron, but I think at the end of the day, he's got to get deported back to Sudan, boy. But no, just kidding. Green smiling. We don't get emojis on our end of the chat for some reason. But no, I mean, Myron helped put Nick back on a little bit, I think, especially during the Fresh and Fit stuff.
Well, I think Myron
is not Sneeko. I'm not classifying those two in the same classification at all whatsoever.
No.
So don't.
I think that I kind of agree with you about Sneeko, because like when you and I first started doing this, basically what you told me was, at least the way you made it sound, was that you're what?
He's referencing Jack from Friday.
You're lucky I ain't no queer.
Have you posted a clip yet?
No. Well, yeah, but not that one.
If y'all didn't catch any of the stream Friday, it's not extremely informative, very entertaining though.
Yes.
Just go skim through it, catch some of Jack. He was I just let him go.
I sent
man.
that one to Ken.
Did you?
Yeah.
What did he say? Anything?
He doesn't respond.
Oh, he doesn't. He doesn't text back. He probably doesn't know how. You got to teach him. You got to teach him how to use his phone.
Double Edge is coming for us. What was I saying though? Oh, that Sneeko. I think Sneeko just kind of fell off. You know what I mean? Like, I think Nick, in the same way Myron helped Nick, I think like Nick was going on with Sneeko, going on with Myron to get more engagement, which he got. But he's a very, like, he's even said, like, his thing is about loyalty. Like, he considered those guys to be friends. I don't think Sneeko, Nick hurt his credibility and he was with Sneeko, but I didn't pay that much attention.
He was doing this Catholic Muslim alliance for a little while, which was a no-no.
You think so?
Yes.
I mean,
very much so.
I get where you're coming from. I just don't feel as strongly. I don't get why you feel that strongly about it.
I think Muslims are degenerates.
Well, sure.
And we can't partner with degenerates to fix degeneracy.
Now, here's the thing about that. You're partnered with a Muslim, Myron. No, but my point, like, I don't even
Is
think
Myron Muslim though?
But that's my point. Is I don't even think Sneeko, Andrew, and Myron are real Muslims. You know what I mean? Because like we talked about, their worldview dictates their religion rather than the other way around. So they're not even. I feel like they could almost, not easily, but like they're
almost
only nominally
LARP.
Yes,
It's
they're
like,
nominally Muslim.
It's like the OF girls, like Nala, becoming Christian. They're just I wouldn't classify them in the same like category as like Nala's obviously grifting, but the other ones I wouldn't say is grift. It's like a leverage thing. Because like the Muslim audience unquestionably is extremely loyal. And so the numbers are going to be there regardless. And so maybe it's just a pan into an area.
So have you seen any of the clips from
no
Andrew Tate's interview with that porn lady?
Oh, I saw
Blue?
one clip. I saw one clip.
That
like
woman,
run really short clip.
That woman is horrific. I mean,
have you seen the rumors that she's a tranny or he's a tranny?
I have. I don't think so though.
I don't know, dude.
Here's the thing though, is she's trying to maintain her youth and all those all that makeup can turn certain women into guys. High cheekbones and makeup make girls look like dudes.
She does look like a dude.
And I mean, oh my gosh, dude.
Crispy says Myron doesn't claim Islam. His parents are. Yeah, I think he's culturally Muslim the same way everybody around here is culturally Christian. I think it's nominal.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely avoids it. But
To me, though, the tranny thing is, it's like, I feel like it's not a big deal. You know, it's almost like funny, but you know, it's like the Michelle Obama thing. Everyone's like, Michelle Obama's a man. Black women just kind of look like dudes. You know, it's not that big a deal. Like,
black
I think
women have high test, dude. That's just the nature of it.
Yeah, like the real dark ones, God had to give them big tits and fat asses, or you know, like.
Have you ever seen the clip with John Ward?
Where about the bonobos?
No. Chat, we're about to watch
his
YouTube.
No relation, by the way. His monkey video was great. I love his monkey video.
Let me see if I can get this out.
Don't read too much into that, chat.
I gotta find it. Oh boy, let's go to playlist. Let's go to clips. Let's go to.
Is it the monkey video?
No.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
Is
Gibbon? Yeah, the monkey.
Is it?
Or yeah, I said bonobo.
Or stimulus, I guess. I don't know. I feel like saying white is like putting a lens on it that might not really be real. Yeah, you said in yesterday's show, it was a great comment, there's people as individuals and people as groups. And a lot of confusion comes when you treat groups as if they're individuals and vice versa. It's kind of that thing. Like, white people is not an individual. Descartes is an individual. Isaac Newton is an individual. But fucking Hawk Tuah is also an individual. And I don't really want to give her any credit. Holy fucking shit! They'd run around, they'd throw their hats.
The thing that comes
he was
to mind
racist.
is like
he was racist as fuck, but it's just a heuristic. He has
I
eyeballs.
don't know if it's racist.
Well, it's in the strict. Now, the way it was set up, you could see the people coming through. Like, I think like
what part are you trying to get to?
Where he's talking about white Asians
and then you get to Asians, the most like kind of tiny noses. Well, you cut this part out. The same is true in reverse of white.
He said you can cut this part out.
And again, I'm talking very general stereotypes, but their culture.
I mean, YouTube's probably going to shut us down, but it is what it is.
Well, you cut this part out. The same is true in reverse of white people. They have very internal, introverted culture, less pronounced nose, less pronounced mouth, and then you get to Asians, the most like kind of tiny noses, tiny mouths, flat faces, flat asses. I think like the culture, it's the causality, which is causing which. You can never really say, but the much more performative, energetic, loud cultures have much more performative.
I mean, you wouldn't say that would be natural selection that causes that.
If you like loud noises, you'd probably like big asses. Like, you just need to be punched by your stimulus, I guess. I don't know. If you like mid-range noises, you like mid-range asses. If you like quiet noises,
almost like a physiognomy.
I mean, that might be making a reach, but that pattern is there.
Well, like when I think about physiognomy as the mind developing, specifically the face.
Look at that, dude. I need to shave.
And showing an outward appearance of what the inward is.
Yeah. What I say is,
and I would also link this to why couples look alike.
Fixed.
Sure, because they have common. Yeah, you're attracted to a similar enough. Yeah, 100%.
No, I think eat your dinner twice with that
into
thing.
each other.
Oh, how they say they start to look more like each other. Yeah.
And I think that's an aspect of like a physiognomy where the brain develops the outward appearance, specifically facial features.
Yeah. Yeah. The place I stop is it the outward causing the inward? Is the inward causing the outward, or is it kind of both at the same time? I'm inclined to believe it's that. It's both. Like, I don't believe gene selection is totally passive. It's just survival of the fittest. I think there's also some.
Yeah, I just want to get to that clip. I thought that was a good one from John, talking about how the physiognomy of the races. We were talking about testosterone levels in black women. It's just kind of it goes with it a little bit. What is Double Edge talking about here?
I like you and I want you.
I just realized I came looking for video. I was gonna shave last night, but I didn't. My wife wants me to shave, but I like it. I'm gonna shave everything but the mustache, boys. Just the mustache. Just the mustache. Let it all go. All right, here's what we're gonna do. Bro on the right. He's so stupid. Oh. Where are we at? Let me pull up. I gotta walk around here for a second. Josh, talk to the people.
All right. The people. Welcome back, people. So the mindset of being attracted to fat asses, according to John Ward. No, I'm kidding. Women don't even know what they want, says Double Edge. That's true. Women need to be told what to do and what to think. This is how they are programmed. Everyone knows this. Are you setting up the Zoom? Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Tell them we got, what time is it?
It is 4:10. We can get like 2 zooms in. We can get 2 zooms in. We got about 40 minutes left, but yeah, guys. I mean, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do, man? I think you guys, what we need to worry about right now, and Zeb might disagree with me on this, raise your children right. Make sure your children are based. That is what we need to do. Josh is 1 fade away from a broccoli cut. I think I look kind of cute.
Why would I disagree with that?
Well, I mean, you have a much shorter timeline than I do for everything.
I think the answer is going to be locality.
I mean, obviously, you have to
the
do
answer is
that.
going to be local. It's always going to revert to more local.
Here's what I'm
Whatever
thinking.
happens.
Here's what I'm thinking. And I'm probably wrong about this, but here's what I'm thinking.
I'll tell you if you're wrong.
World War III, if we're like real World War III happens and America gets like basically destroyed, all of the rabble might flee. And like if you basically create horrible conditions in America, all the beans are going to go back down south. The Africans, they're going to stay here and they're going to go crazy, and it'll probably just be a race war and they'll get killed off. And then things might get better.
The problem is you can't just. It's not like. It's not like the infrastructure disappears in a World War III. It's not like housing doesn't exist. It's not like plumbing doesn't exist. It's not like the electrical grid doesn't exist, at least easily repairable in some form. Like everything's still going to be here. It's just the intangible systems aren't going to exist in the way they do now. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so given that, I don't think they would flee. If anything, they'll gang up and fight, which is why it's inevitably going to be boiled down to like locality. And then from there you'll have like small militias.
I just kind of wanted to see what you say. I don't think that's going to happen.
Chat, drop the link in the chat if you want to zoom in.
What kind of politician? Like, what is the next step realistically? Like, what? Okay, what is your hypothetical savior? Maybe not like perfect savior politician. Like, it's not like assuming it's not JD Vance, which I think you're coming around to my opinion about him. But who do you think would come along? What would the perfect candidate come along be in like 20?
Hold on. They got a conversation in chat. I'll answer your question here in a second. Took a woman camping. She hated it till she got grounded, and the fire was going. Double Edge, all you got to do is tell them shut up, and they start getting happy. He said they want food and hugs, and my wife texted me. She said, "Yeah, food and hugs. That's all we want." So maybe you're on to something, Double Edge. Maybe you're on to something. Sam, no, welcome back. I want the Julios out of my country. Yes, we all want the Julios out of our country. But guess what? Guess what you get instead of Julios out of your country?
You get them in.
They stay here, and we're sending your kids to war in the desert that we've been fighting the same war for 30-something years. Congratulations. You fell for it. You fell for it again. Draft Josh over to the Zagros Mountains.
Zagros.
Is that a mountain range in Iran?
Probably.
Okay.
I'm telling you this right now.
Oh boy.
If I get
I'm
drafted,
gonna open some cans.
If I get drafted, there's going to be a lot of American soldiers with bullets in their backs. I'm not,
Josh.
I'm a turncoat, man. I'm changing sides.
I'm gonna get me a noose, Josh. You deserve the noose, just saying.
I'm gonna be coming home with Marine scalps.
Now we see why he's got the Jufro, guys. Now we see.
The intelligence has to come from the high verbal IQ has to come from somewhere. Yeah.
Nobody wants to zoom in? We could talk. We could talk World War III. That's all we've been talking about for the last week. Josh fights for
I fight for the Ayatollah. The Ayatollah commands and I obey.
You never really address. Wait, you asked me a question. What kind of politician?
Who, not who specifically, but like if you could just like create someone out of thin air to be the next, to like basically primary JD Vance in 2028 and run either as a Democrat or Republican, but in our favor, what would they say? What would they do?
JD Vance, but not gay.
You're retarded.
I mean, I don't really
JD
know what
Vance,
the answer to that question is.
Here's the thing.
You can't. No. Here's the thing. The Democrat Party is in shambles. If we were organized enough, we could literally take it over overnight. We could commandeer all of their infrastructure, trillions of dollars, centuries of establishment. We could commandeer it overnight. They're crumbling. They have no organization. If we had a little bit of organization in the nationalistic side or the Republican side in general, you could commandeer their entire party right now. And then
But what would the position be? Because the base is still anti-white.
Well, you have a major split. We keep talking about the split in the Republican Party that is very GDP prone, H-1B, go to war with Iran section of the Republican Party, this big tent that we have. We're so united under this big tent that everybody disagrees. And then you have the nationalistic side that wants to protect Americans, that wants to actually be America first, that actually wants MAGA. And so you would have, again, I showed you on the board, and we probably should have done a video on it. The meme that shows you when they say the right left, or the Democrat Party left me, I didn't leave the Democrat Party, and it kind of shows the Democrat Party drifting away. The meme's wrong. They are still Democrats. They're just under this Republican tent. But the problem is the Democrat Party is so extreme, and you have the nationalistic people on the right that could commandeer the Democrat Party. I wish I'd have done that video so that I could show you, but basically, let me see. I have an image of it. Let me see if I can pull it up.
I think though you're thinking of the infrastructure as almost like a tool. You know what I mean? Like it can just be picked up and used by anybody. But the problem is
it can be.
No, the infrastructure also exists as people. And the people
No. It only exists as people in holding office, not as people in essence of the person themselves. They're very much replaceable, just like the president is replaceable.
But the thing is a big part of the Democrat is where do they get their power from? It's appealing to the minority. It's appealing to this. How is people like us who are like pro-white, basically anti-minority, supposed to commandeer that force?
Hold on, give me 1 second.
How are you going to get large swaths of black people to vote for you if we're going to, or Hispanics to vote for you if we're running on kicking them out?
Okay, if you... How do I explain this to you? It's the same reason you'll never have a third party. You can't put someone on the ballot unless they're really you can, but it's not the same.
Now hold on.
In the same way that you can put a Democrat and a Republican.
Let me throw you a bone here.
Primaries don't exist.
Arguing, if what you're arguing is basically where you have the like today, you have the left and you have the right, and people with our beliefs have really nowhere to go. If you were to massage it or manipulate it so that the people on the left and the people on the right made it so there was nowhere for the anti-white people to go, is that kind of what you're saying? To basically where
Yeah.
The radical left has no party. Is that kind of what you're getting at?
Well, the radical left can have the Democrat Party. What I'm saying is there's not enough of them to maintain the Democrat Party in itself if all of the Tulsi Gabbards, Elon Musk, and the like are coming over. Let me throw this. Where are my scenes at? Behind here. Okay. This is I need to take it all the way back. Hold on. Bear with me, chat. It'll be worth it, I promise. All right, so I wish I could control this thing a little bit better. This is a chalkboard. I was going to make a video on this, but basically, this is the meme up at the top right. This way. This is a meme. First line is 2008. You have typical left-right guy in the middle, centrist. Then you have the left-right Democrat Party's kind of gone a little bit further left. Middle, Republican. And again, Democrat Party went further left, guy in the middle, and Republican is the same. This meme isn't accurate. And here's what I mean by this meme isn't accurate. And then I'll follow up with what I'm talking about here in a second. So we have, so I just basically recreated the 2008. You have, they're on, I drew the umbrella. Can you tell that it's an umbrella? I hope so. Anyway, I drew the umbrella to show the Republican Party as in the RNC, as in the GOP, not necessarily the right itself. I don't remember erasing. Anyway, you have the guy on the Democrat side that isn't as far right as the Democrat Party is allowing it to be, as far as the left is allowing it to be, or at least the perception of that. And so you go down the umbrella in 2016, the umbrella gets a little bit bigger, and we start letting in probably a little bit of leftists, but not really the centrists. We don't let in the Tulsi Gabbards. We don't let in the Elon Musk, the RFK types yet. But still, the Democrat Party is kind of shifting a little bit left on that leftist time frame. And then 2020, umbrella gets a little bit bigger. This is obvious. We see this happening. And these are the same people that are saying the Democrat Party left me. I didn't leave the Democrat Party. No, you stayed the same. You're still the same person you were. You were just accepted into this umbrella of this large tent party down here to 2020. Right? And this is when your never Trumpers of 2016, centrist, moderate, virtue signaling individuals started saying, okay, I'll go into the Republican Party because the Democrat Party is getting crazy. We're starting to see the summer of love 2020. We're starting to see all these extremist BLM in 2020. And they're like, oh, I don't want a part of that. Let me just file under this Republican tent, but I'm going to still stay on the left. Left of center, if you will. And so this is my argument for, I put 2032 here. And so the umbrella can't get any bigger. How long ago did I make this thing? Like 6 months ago? 6 months ago, before any of this started happening. The umbrella can't get any bigger. It literally can't. And so you're going to start seeing this separation of, give me 2 minutes and I'll let you call in. You're going to start seeing the separation of umbrella. I guess in this instance, I kind of drew it as just kind of shifting left because the ones on the right, which we can classify as more nationalistic, more far right, if you are more dissident, if you will, and they're just going to fall off the edge because they've been pushed because this umbrella has kind of shoved them into the rain. And so when they fall, where do they land? They land on the very far right. If they're organized, they land on the very far right, commandeer the Democrat Party. Or the far left, and they commandeer the Democrat Party. It's not really horseshoe theory in policy of left and right. It's more of a horseshoe theory in the way parties switch, in the way that... Sam, how about you call in so I can put you on blast? It's horseshoe theory in the same way that the Republican Party and Democrat Party switched after the Civil War. That's what they argue. They didn't really switch on policy. They just it kind of switched north and south, if you will, the positions of the people.
I guess it depends on what you mean by the Democrat infrastructure. I basically see the most of the ideology that we disagree with is inseparable from the infrastructure as it currently exists. Based on how I understand it, unless we're defining infrastructure wrong or differently.
When I say infrastructure, I mean the trillions of dollars that has gone into building out location, headquarters, heading up. The people are included in this. Boots on the ground, funding. This funding that the Democrat Party has acquired will retain itself regardless of who is holding the positions.
To an extent. My point is, like, the boots on the ground.
Okay, so you're arguing the power
boot
structure isn't retainable.
I don't see how you can basically say our ideology can just commandeer the hard left infrastructure as it currently is without there being a massive drop off in the infrastructure. Because like you say, like,
sure, there's going to be a drop off,
all these facilities and whatnot, the people that fill them, the boots on the ground, they will, like, how did they get there in the first place? Because they, in large part,
because
they
there
do
was no
agree with the
competition.
policies. I don't think so, dude. I don't, and sure, you could argue that if what you're arguing for is them switching over to like the moderate right, you know?
I'm not
like
arguing that the Democrat Party is going to switch.
Okay, but what I'm saying is I don't see how a lot of the, not all of it, but a lot of the infrastructure that we associate with the powerful Democrat Party will go with the people. You could argue maybe the funding, like big corporate, like if the popular sentiment of the people was white nationalism, yeah, the corporations would go along with it, sure, but then we're just kind of arguing in circles. Was someone trying to call in? Is that what
somebody said? Call in now. Now.
Can now.
Oh, chat, zoom in so I can tell you you're wrong. Nick Mac, so full circle. Kinda. I'm saying the DNC is weak enough that it can be infiltrated in a single go and not just over time.
But realistically, what does that even mean?
You're able to it would take prior organization, which we don't have.
Right. But I'm saying if we did, what would that Democrat Party look like? What would their policies be? What would they be running on?
Extremely nationalistic.
White nationalistic?
Yeah, yes.
Again, I agree.
If we were organized enough. You could pull all the groypers. You got a couple million groypers floating around here. If Nick wanted to take the Democrat Party along with the Christian nationalists, along with the Myrons, the OSS, along with some of a lot of the Christian nationalists, a lot of these types, if they wanted to commandeer the Democrat Party, I think it is weak enough to be infiltrated and taken over.
I think that the anti-white sentiment, the pro-gay sentiment, if you were to quote unquote take over the Democrat infrastructure, those lobbies, those parties, that sentiment is big enough in the country to where you can't just ignore it. Which is why I don't think what you're saying is possible yet. It would take take years of social reprogramming to basically let all the modern day fags die off, because it is psychological, and basically make being gay taboo again. And you'd have to basically make people racist again, and have be at each other's throats in order for that to happen. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. I'm not saying that we have to change people's opinion. I'm saying the people that already hold these opinions, there's enough of them to infiltrate, if they were organized, centrally organized, you could take over the Democratic Party.
Let's say that group existed, but they hadn't tried it yet. They're going to start today. What's the time frame before it's thoroughly enough infiltrated? 10 years? 15? 20?
No, it would have to be quick. The longer it takes, the less likely it is to succeed. It would have to be almost instant, like 2028, maybe midterms. What you do is you flood the ballots across the country with nationalists. Take the nationalists. This has to be centralized. Take the nationalists and vote for the nationalists. Half of the Republican Party, if you could do it, that's doesn't want war with Iran, which is a significant amount of people, to vote for that nationalist on the ballot. I mean, it would have to be, which is why I'm arguing it would have to be organized.
Just get our crowd to run as Democrats.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is,
you're trying to change hearts and minds. I'm trying to wield power.
Well, which is infrastructure. They kind of go hand in hand.
No,
how are you going to get modern day Democrat voters to vote for a nationalist? That's what I'm saying.
Know.
What?
If it was centralized, you could run them without acknowledging that they are nationalists on the Democrat platform.
Okay, so you're saying trick them?
Yes, usurp them.
Okay, well that's not really. You weren't being very clear about that.
I'm sorry. Not even me, dude. We just need a king. I mean, we were talking earlier. If Donald Trump was king, he probably wouldn't have bombed Iran. I think if he was the monarch,
an argument could be made.
Emperor Trump would not have bombed Iran, but President Trump did.
I don't know, man. I mean, he's lame duck. And I think he's so obsessed with his image. I think that's a big part. They either have got some serious blackmail on him, or he's just dumb. Like I think
a lame duck
Trump's
monarch isn't a thing.
No, I know, but like the fact that he's lame duck he's definitely still not a monarch, but he's more like one because he doesn't have to, like, he's closer to a monarch than if he was not a lame duck. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. You don't think we might already have one of those who knows who they kneel to when they get
My
there?
point is it's like,
yeah.
So if you get a hardcore nationalist who's pretending not to be to trick the Democrats.
I didn't say pretend not to be.
What?
People are uninformed. And they vote for the thing on the ticket that's in the box that they want to click.
Right. So all right. So let's play this out. You, Zeb, are running as a Democrat, and you're running against AOC. How are you going to get beaners, blacks, retarded college students?
Well, I wouldn't run me in AOC's district.
I'm just like, forget this.
I'm just saying. I would run against. I'm trying to think. What district? Like you could take almost all of the purple states. Maybe. Like Fetterman's seat, you could probably get that. I guess we're thinking on a national level too. I mean, this definitely applies to the state level.
Here's what I think is this whole debate is kind of irrelevant. I think the best thing to do is to run on what we want to run on.
Yeah, but you can't.
Not yet.
The umbrella is too large.
For now.
The Republican Party is split.
I get that. But my point
being,
here's
what we have.
This is why I'm saying, this is what I try to tell to Ken, is Ken talks about politics and runs his show like he's running a campaign today, which, yes, You can't win a campaign if you come out and say that blacks have a lower IQ because of genetics. You can't run a campaign today saying that the same thing about women, Hispanics, and that, yes, we want this country to be completely occupied by white people.
You can't tell the truth and win.
Today. So that's why I think people like us, people like Ken, our responsibility and obligation is not to tell politicians running right now how to win a successful campaign. It's to change the hearts and minds of the people, which will take time. That's what I'm saying. Like, trying to figure out how to win political campaigns now will only result in just more of what we've, well, not necessarily, but do you kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I think like quit worrying about 2028. No meaningful, even if Hitler was elected in 2028, no meaningful change would be done. What we can do now is point out the flaws in the establishment, in the system, and wake people up to it. What are you doing?
Josh, I really, I'm trying to find something. I really don't think it matters unless, I mean, and this is one of the things that Trump ran on for his campaign, along with mass deportations, is fixing the election. If everything we talk about, none of it matters if we can't fix 2020, if we can't fix the literal foundation of what our country runs on, which is democracy. If we can't fix that, then it doesn't matter. If we can't figure out where, I would argue, like 30 million votes came from, if we can't fix that, if we can't retroactively say Joe Biden stole the election, none of his policies are enforceable, if we can't fix that, none of it matters, dude.
I agree.
And so
we
instead
do not
we
have
get
our priorities in order.
Instead of getting deportations and fixing the elections for the future, now we're just fighting wars for Israel.
So, total pivot. Tell me about Madagascar.
You tell me about Madagascar. You said you were looking into it.
Well, I mean, I'm looking into it because I don't know. Like,
from my understanding, that it was a
I know that's what
proposal.
Goebbels,
it was a proposal
Goebbels wanted.
From Goebbels. Goebbels proposed, instead of giving them the Balfour Declaration of the Promised Land, we give them Madagascar.
Are there natives on Madagascar?
If there is, it was promised to them 4,000 years ago.
They're gonna.
I'm looking
all
for
the Madagascans. King Julian, they're going to kill King Julian.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you put them on Madagascar, they have no Middle East to fight. They have no Muslims to fight. I mean, they're on an island all by themselves. It's about the same size.
Is it? Is Madagascar?
I think so. It might be a little bit bigger. Yeah. Okay. I'm looking for a tweet from Elon. I wonder if he deleted it. Elon put a tweet out there saying something to the effect of, we're trying to train Grok on things. Drop all of the unacceptable truths or something like that. How did he put it? Elon tweets so much. I bookmarked it and I shared it and I commented on it, but I can't find it. Oh boy, chat. Oh, divisive facts. Here it goes. Boom. Let's go. All right, we're going to scroll through this. This is a, if you're not on Twitter, you need to get on Twitter just for this tweet. The comment section is brutal. All right. Let's catch up with chat real quick, and then we'll dive into it.
Toot.
You don't think we might already have one of those? Who knows? Oh, talking about kings. This is what Trump always was. I don't know, man. Maybe. Maybe not. You think Trump's always been this Trump?
No.
I mean, 2015, 2016, Trump was pretty
I think
heavy.
I think Trump was a legitimate challenge to the system, but he did not understand, as many of us didn't at the time, how bad it really was. And he got in.
And it's just gotten worse.
And he tried to play ball, and they subverted him at every turn. They threatened to put him in jail for 300 years, and they assimilated him. So here's the thing. There's this whole thing going on in the media right now where they go, MAGA is split. Wrong. MAGA is not split. It has been infiltrated. And the same people that Trump ran against are in it. And they're telling us now that we are not MAGA. They never were. Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, these people are swamp things. They're swamp creatures. They have no free will. They have no agency. They have Jew hands so far up their ass that, yeah.
The umbrella's just gotten too large.
Yes.
You can't keep adding to the thing and expect it to be more cohesive. That's just counterintuitive. It just doesn't make sense.
Yes. And that's what I try to tell to Ken is he's like, in order to win, you win by addition, not subtraction. But who are you adding? And how do you add them? You're watering down your message to be more palatable to more people. And then what do you get? War with Iran, no tariffs, only promises that the donors want. The Jerusalem, the capital or whatever, it's moved to Jerusalem. The embassy's moved to Jerusalem. And then we get war with Iran.
Oh, yeah. I remember that, dude. They've been promising Jerusalem for like 60 years, and Trump actually does it. And then we go bomb Iran. Nailed it. If Trump didn't sell out with the Jews, he'd be locked up right now.
Exactly.
He'd be locked up right now.
They bought him.
Chris B said,
they assimilated him.
Many will vote Republican again if they accept AIPAC money. Then it's a no. Well, you're never voting Republican again. I think you got three choices right now: Massey, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and maybe Rand Paul. Who was the other one? That's about it.
That's about it. You said Massey, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Most of the policies work against us. That's my main issue. Right, because they don't care about the American people.
You got to listen to Wake Up Carolina tomorrow.
We just need policies in our own favor. Either need a complete benevolent monarch or skip the middleman altogether. Just go from us. Yeah, dude. Fascism's coming, brother. Fascism's coming with some type of monarch, Führer, king, emperor, governorship, call it what you want to. It's coming, dude. And it's coming. The speed at which that is coming is the speed at which the boomers are dying out. That's the only thing holding this back. I said we're going to scroll through this tweet, so that's what we are going to do. Elon tweets out. Please reply to this post with divisive facts for Grok training. This is what we're training Grok on, Josh.
Okay.
Because right now, Grok won't give you... I called Grok in a lie the other day on Racing IQ. It kept giving me adolescence differences when I was asking for adult differences, right? Adult differences is like 0.5 or adult differences is like 5 points in IQ, and adolescence differences was like 25 to 50%. And I was like, dude, you're lying to me, Grok. I caught you in a lie. You admitted to it. But yeah, so here we are. We're training Grok, boys. We're training Grok. Quite bold of Elon, if I will. By this, I mean things that are politically incorrect, but nonetheless factually true. Boom. The Red Cross said 271,000 Jews died in the Holocaust, not 6 million. I mean, if we're going to trust a source, I would trust the Red Cross.
The only number I'm not sure about is, what is it, 271,000?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's accurate.
Well, that's what the Red Cross says.
I do know that 6 million is not. That's the one I'm sure of.
Yeah. I'm not denying that it happened, but I am denying one of the numbers in this instance.
I did hop on Twitter yesterday and was getting a bunch of Holocaust stuff, and it was basically, about how all the pictures you see of the starving, it was because the Allies were bombing the train lines, and there was typhus.
They were starving them out.
Yeah,
that's how you win war.
Yep. And that there's actually the one that I was like, I need to look into that, is that there's actually no record of the final solution quote by Hitler.
Yeah, there's not.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know that one.
I mean, Winston Churchill wrote a 6-volume book. Didn't even mention it.
Really?
Yeah. Silicon Valley doesn't need H-1Bs because of talent shortage. It wants them because it undercuts wages they'd have to pay Americans, and the visas are attached to employment, so they can't job hop.
Boom.
Kids adopted by gay parents have a 1,050% higher risk of being abused sexually by their adoptive parents. The number is astronomically high. 95% of the top inventors and innovators from the recorded history from 80 to 1950 came from people of European descent.
That was actually, that reminds me of one of a TikTok clip I wanted us to react to, and I'm kind of spoiling it here. But it's this guy who I've been following on TikTok. He's awesome, dude. He's this black dude who I don't know if he was discharged from the army or whatever, but he wears his thing with all his medals, and he just craps on white people. And he talks about how Europeans are inherently more violent. And he cites this because most of the recorded battles throughout history take place in Europe. Big emphasis on recorded.
Yeah. Well, it's also technology. We're not it's not that we're inherently more violent. We're just better at it. There's a general rule of thumb that when a mass shooting happens, if 25% of the injured if 25% of the people hit are dead, then it's a white person. If less than 25%, then they're non-white. That's a general rule of thumb. If you get a mass shooting and it says like 11 people injured, 3 dead.
Did I tell
then
you?
You know it's not white.
Did I tell you I got shot at by a black person in Charlotte and they missed? I'm not kidding.
I'm not surprised.
It was on the highway because they sped by. They were honking at us, and we thought it was all in good fun. My brother stuck his butt out the window. We drove past him again, and then when they passed us again, they shot at us at point blank range and missed.
You can't make it up, boys. You can't make it up. This account, if you're not following them, they post some very solid stuff. Conditional on intelligence, the predicted incomes of black and white men in the U.S. are the same. Earned income by IQ ancestry. I guess predicted. Okay, so you have income and then you have IQ. And so it's all predictive based on that. I guess you're looking at the hold
on. Annual earned income. Here. Damn. Less than 10. Sheesh.
Log 10, so by 1,000.
So 10,000. There's people making less than 10,000. Well, I guess they'd be.
Well, I guess that'd be 10,000 right here
on all sorts of subsidies and whatnot too.
George Floyd died because he freaked out, thinking he would get busted with drugs and swallow the entire stash of fentanyl, dying of fentanyl overdose. Dinesh D'Souza, Indian. This is a black lady that posts a ton of pro Confederate stuff.
I will say, I've been seeing a lot of like black as night black people that are like racist. like they're like white nationalists.
They're tired of it, dude. They got the fatigue. Compared with the worst class of laborers in the slums of New York and Philadelphia, the factory town of New England, the black slaves were as well off in some parts. In some particular, better off. Oh, talking about slavery in America or in the South. Tartaria. They got some crazy stuff. Does anybody... Chat, have y'all looked into the Tartaria conspiracy? You know what that is? Really?
I've heard it, but I don't know it.
We'll have to dive
What do you
that
do?
one day.
You do this every time. You go, "Hey guys, do you know this thing?"
Dude,
and then you go, and then we go,
that
"No,"
one's-
and then you're like, "All right." You just move on. Fill us in.
Tartaria is this idea that Russia, and there is grounding for the theory that Russia was this advanced civilization, and all basically Greco architecture is part of an old world architecture. This is what the World's Fairs used to be. They would go around and create cities, and the World's Fair is they build them and tear them down is the official narrative behind it, but they claim that they weren't cities that kind of existed, and so it was like this massive one world culture, if you will. Prior to and then they say it was destroyed by a mud flood. What, in like early 1800s? Maybe a little before then. The earth is flat. It's a rabbit hole to dive down, dude. There's so much there though. I would never be able to get all of it out. I think it does go with some of the flat earth stuff too. But it's white people ruled Tartaria, which is modern day Russia, and that's why all of like the Capitol buildings look the same, because they were built by Tartarians. It was like a one world culture. I mean, I'm not really explaining it.
Well, because I actually have read that. I just didn't know it was called Tartaria.
I don't think so either, but I wouldn't discount it entirely. Pictish, welcome, brother. Someone tell the Grok you cannot make gas chambers if the building is brick and the doors are wood. Also, someone
Pictish,
tell...
based boomer, knows the Holocaust didn't happen. Did I tell you I went to the Holocaust Museum in D.C. when I was just graduated high school? So this was like 2016. And they had a Holocaust survivor there signing things.
Were you watching Nick then?
No,
Not
this
yet.
is before
Okay.
I even discovered it. This is before I was awake on the JQ. And the Holocaust survivor looked like she was my mom's age. And my mom is like 52.
Yeah, second generation.
Literally,
Second generation Holocaust survivor.
this was before I knew anything about how bad it is, the JQ, anything at all. And I remember looking at her and being like, there's no way.
There's no way.
What was she like, conceived on the last day of the Holocaust? Like,
yeah, in the birthing chambers. You know, they had a NICU ward in Auschwitz. It was across the street from the pool.
And the masturbation machines.
Yeah. Oh man. You know the chimneys there are reconstructed at Auschwitz? They're fake.
I did not
They
know that.
they built them after the fact. That's another one, boys. There's no Jewish question, only the Khazar truth. They say they are Jews, but they aren't.
I don't know if it's that candle, but are your eyes kind of burning?
I mean, I couldn't see anything earlier.
Yeah, I know. We got like a new scented candle in here, and it's.
You think so?
It's kind of like help.
We're probably going to scroll through a couple more of these, and we'll peace out today, boys.
Chris B, your question about the tattoo. That was the only reason I wanted to talk to her, was to see it, and I like there was a huge line of people, so I didn't.
If you ever look at the tattoos, they never go over 6 digits.
I was gonna say that was another point they made up, where the highest recorded tattoo was like
600,000.
Yeah, like 300,000, something like that.
Not even close to 1 million.
Yeah.
Which they said, what, 4 million Jews died at Auschwitz alone?
It was either 2 or 4. I can't remember.
It changes. It changes every decade or so.
Did I tell you, like at the DC Holocaust Museum, they have a big room where it's separate from the museum, but it's a part of it, where it's a memorial to the Holocaust. and the whole room is shaped like the Star of David, and it's got on the walls. So it's like a big Star of David on the floor, a big one on the ceiling, and then there's walls where they've got basically each star of it has like Auschwitz, whatever the other ones were named.
Yeah.
And then it has like a bunch of little Stars of David, and each one is supposed to, be like 1,000 Jews. And then they have candles. And my brother, who was like 6 years old at the time, he starts going in there blowing out all the candles.
Let's go.
And I was like, dude, it'll stop. Like he was based before I was,
Let's see. Homosexual men have astronomically higher rates of STD than straight men. Is an extremely unhealthy lifestyle based on the data from the
is
CDC.
that even controversial? No. That's just like factual.
Iran has a legal right under nuclear non-proliferation treaty to enrich uranium.
They do.
Iran has a legal right to enrich uranium for peaceful purposes under article. Yeah, they have a right to. But see, this is a problem. The IAEA is tracking Iran, but Israel gets a pass. See, this is a problem. Michaela Peterson, probably something about stupid carnivore.
Have you done carnivore?
No, I did. I did keto for a little while just to try it.
Well, it's kind of the same thing. I mean, I think you get more protein with carnivore, but you go into ketosis. That's like where the weight loss comes in.
Yeah, because you're not ingesting glucose.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. I felt pregnant. Like the cravings you get.
Really?
Oh man,
I just ate tuna fish.
I got like tuna random cravings for like very specific things.
I've heard this too. Ivermectin and fenbendazole successfully treat cancers, different cancers.
I don't know. To me,
I do know that you can starve tumors if you go into ketosis because they live off of sugars or glucose, glycogen.
I have heard about doing like if you do a 1 or 2 week water diet where you only drink water, it reduces your likelihood of cancer by like
it starves it
70%
because that's what it lives off of. It turns you start running on ketones instead of
glycogen.
Is it glycogen? It doesn't sound right.
It's almost 5, by the way.
Sandy Hook. Oh boy, here we go. I don't sue me $1 trillion. I'm just reading off the screen here. Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting, officially reported as a mass murder by a lone gunman in December 12, contains numerous anomaly suppressed evidence. How long is this thing? Yeah,
Holy
never mind.
shenanigans.
Never mind. Scratch that. Not reading that. This is Twitter. Democratic regimes have far lower rates of state killing than communist ones. Okay, sure. Jesus Christ is God. That's a good one, boys.
You saw that the highest IQ person in the world allegedly
I saw that.
Christian. What do you feel? How do you feel that he's Chinese?
Here's the deal. IQ tests aren't accurate over like 150. You just can't measure it. It's immeasurable. 1, 2. The person creating the test has to be smarter than what the output of the test is.
I don't think so.
For sure. How not?
I think I don't know the name of it, but that I feel like that's one of those like I forget the name of the fallacy, but it's like to where it's kind of like when Christians say, you know, if you're like, I don't find this argument I don't find it to be a good argument from Christians, which is basically if our brains are programmed to survive and it's purely like there's no soul, it's just the brain and we're just programmed to survive, then acquiring truth is not a priority to survive. Therefore, we cannot trust our own senses. Therefore, evolution. Therefore, if you believe in evolution or if you believe in that there's no God, you can't arrive at the truth, which is technically true. I just don't think it's a good argument. And the point being is like, if you could like in the same way in a formulation pattern, someone who is not as smart as Grok can create Grok. Someone who is not as smart as an AI they build can build an AI smarter than them in a processing type
AI would
way.
be different because the input is outside of the creator. Right? The creator cannot create something greater than himself.
Depends.
No, it doesn't depend.
It depends. I mean, like...
No, it doesn't depend. By definition,
okay,
a creator cannot create something greater than himself.
People build boats that float better than they do. It depends on what you're talking about. I created a boat that floats better than I do.
No, that would be like saying, I created a boat greater than my process to be able to create the boat. My thought process to create the boat. Right? The creation of the boat is in the design, not the boat itself.
So you're
in the
saying...
way that the IQ test is a creation of the mind from the creator, and if the mind of the creator is not 260 or whatever they said he was, then there's no way for him to measure that.
I guess
because it's not, you can't design the thing to measure.
I guess, yeah, because the only way I could think of to rebut that would be to create that test, which I'm not capable of doing. So,
I mean, you could probably argue like an AI could create the test, but then there's no way to verify that the test is accurate because there's no human to prove it.
Well, did this guy with a 297 IQ create his own test?
There's no way to know if he has a 297 test or what 260,
unless
whatever.
He creates
too stupid.
Well, okay, so fill me in on why you can't accurately, because okay, I'll concede that someone cannot create a test that can test for higher than whatever their IQ is. I'll give you that. Why, regardless of that, why is it hard to get one to test reliably over 150?
Because you can't create questions in an ambiguous way that is consistent across the board. Meaning there's only so many patterns of recognition that you can create that you can get an answer to.
I see.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You can only make it so complex with shapes. Now you could I don't know what kind of test they used.
No,
it was like Giga
IQ
Industries or something.
I think you're right because like I said, my interest for a long time was apologetics, and this was always something the atheist appealed to, was like, what if aliens have a higher intelligence than us? And it's like, what if an alien with a higher intelligence than you just told you that there was no God? And I was like, well, explain it to me. And they go, well, the argument is smarter than your ability to understand. You know, it's just an appeal.
Well, that's a problem.
Yeah, it's just an appeal to something. It's just an appeal to intelligence that may not exist.
Well,
I
I do hold the position that at a certain point, the argument will break down. And I think that's somewhere between 2 and 3 standard deviations. So like someone that is trying to make an argument that they grasp, not necessarily that they created, So a concept to be created takes give a number, whatever that number is, depending on what the concept is, at 150. Well, let's use standard deviations. 115, 130, 145. So at 145, the concept is created. 130 would be able to 130 would be able to understand that concept, and then it would be able to be relayed down to like 100, 105. Anybody below that wouldn't really be able to understand that concept. These are loose numbers, but trying to get the point across. And so just like the concept of maintenance doesn't compute with people below like 90, then that's the same way almost all concepts are relayed, right? So you have to have an intelligence to understand the concept. You have to have like a standard deviation above to explain the concept, or two standards, and then you have to have another standard deviation of that to create the concept. And so I think there is a window of understanding that is necessary for specific concepts. You're right. Yeah, typically more than one person creates the IQ test, but it's still limited, right? Even I think even Mensa understands this. So if you score like a 135 on a Mensa test, you're accepted into the Mensa club or whatever it's called. And they've even acknowledged that anything over that is very questionably accurate.
You've taken Mensa?
I've taken a very, very shortened version of Mensa.
What'd you get?
135. Now to get into the Mensa club, you have to take like a 2-hour test or something like that, 2 or 4 hour test. I ain't doing all that.
What, like, were there math questions on it, or were they?
No, it was
I took one once and it was like shapes and
shapes.
Yeah, like pattern recognition, that kind of stuff.
See if we can pull it up real quick. IQ challenge. Maybe this is the same one I took. I don't know.
Is it free?
I think so. It's been a while since I took it. How do I get it over to the middle? Bear with me, Chad. Bear with me. You trying to take this thing right now, or are we just trying to look at it?
I just kind of want to see. I'll probably take it if you don't have to pay for it.
Can chat see it? No, it's cutting it off. Why are you doing this to me? All right, good enough. All right. Sam said take it. AI can make art, and the people that made AI can't draw. Well, they coded AI to be able to collect data outside of their creators. So in reality, the creator is other art. AI is a different concept, I guess, when it comes to something like this. How do I just take the test? Important notice, don't care.
The test has already started.
How old are we, Josh? Oh, are we starting the test? Can y'all see? Because I can't see if y'all can see or not. All right, I think they can see. Let me see if I can pull chat up. We can watch chat too at the same time. In this example, you can see a grid of 9 boxes. I'm not taking this whole thing. I think it's like 30 minutes. We'll do a couple. I'll just show you how dumb we are real quick. In this example, you see a grid of 9 boxes, one of which is empty. You have to choose, obviously, pattern recognition. All right, so we're looking at obviously C, boys. It's obviously C. What you get?
No, it's B because it says it right there.
Are they guessing? Are they guessing our IQ? Oh boy.
Damn.
Hold on.
I can't see things here.
How do I make? Can I make this thing smaller? No. Exercise 1. Which one is it, Josh?
It would be A.
Exercise 2. Well, we're obviously going to get a square. And we're obviously going to get a triangle in the middle. And I think that's all we get. You want to do this one?
Circle, dot, plus. So it's triangle.
Yep.
And then the
diagonals are empty. All right. You're taking too long. All right, let's
91 on my way.
All right, so we got all our vertical, horizontal, diagonal, verticals, and we got up, down, bottom, F.
Okay.
Because they're all on the far end. Okay.
Boom, 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 boom. So towards the bottom, I think it's gonna be D.
Arrow to the right. Yep.
Boom, boom. Okay, it's not what I thought. Dude.
Should just be a full.
I would think so. So E, yeah.
Chess said, "Oh, what a dummy." All right, what are we looking at? We got a snake going around.
I'm not seeing any answers in chat though. Okay.
Yeah, chat. What's the answer?
Bam. Okay.
Oh, I'm daydreaming over here. All your diagonals.
I'm seeing
it goes right L.
So it should be like, I can't see all the options. Can you scroll down a little bit? It should be, I think, E. Because it all rotates.
It all rotates.
Yeah.
It's all rotating
and then
one.
they add one. So
you're
yeah.
right. All right. A smiley face mustache.
No, it's weight, boat, UFO, different UFO, different UFO, different boat.
All right, what are we actually looking at here?
All right, yeah. Okay, so see, my typical method is I go down instead of across. So that one changes. They're almost like inversions, like complete inversions. So I'm thinking I agree with Willie. I think it's C.
You think it's C?
I think so, yeah. Because the thing that is always consistent is there's 5 lines in the middle.
Yep.
So it's one of those, which is most of the answers. Even a Mexican can do it. Willy Pepe. Because it. So it like on the first row, it's like the weight, it comes to the center and then it doubles. In the second row, it comes apart and flips and doubles and then inverts.
The only reason it looks like C is because this is inversion, this is inversion, this would be an inversion, but I don't think that's right because you're negating all of this.
Yeah, actually you're right.
It's got to be some plus and minus across the line, right? So we're looking at
Well, Willie, we established that you and I are wrong, so no beans. And the Jew bloods thought Josh was Ashkenazi and shit. Apparently not.
Why is this one harder?
Yeah, this one's tough. They're trashing me, dude. They're calling me a Jew.
Oh, man.
I'm honestly, I'm kind of leaning F.
Yeah, but we don't know. There's a reason why. So the question, so why? Oh.
Okay.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Nope, it don't work. It's got to be some addition and subtracted based on overlaying this on this, right? So if we have 1 up in the center, 3 on the bottom, you have 1 up in the center, 3 on bottom, and you have an inversion, which is 1 down. These negate each other. And then you have the inversion on this. Just pick one. What were you saying? C?
I said C. Do we have to go to the end to find out if we're right or not?
I don't even know if it tells you if you're right or not. We'll go see. All right, next. Oh boy, this is fun. This is fun, isn't it, guys? Chris B said C. Even a wrong answer is better than no answer. Yeah, I think so.
All right, so obviously this one, the dot stays in the same place, so it's going to be, I think D or C. A, C, or D are the only possible answers.
A, C, or D.
And it would be, okay, what's the square?
Square is top right, square is bottom right, square is bottom left. So bottom left square D.
Yeah.
You got an axis rotation of left, axis rotation of left, axis rotation of left. So we're going to be pointing up with the black
on the left.
On the left.
So it'd be D. Doom.
So we're going to be rocking. So you got...
So add a square, take away the oval.
Okay, so you got this square is vertical. You have this square is squares. You have this square is horizontal ovals.
So it's, yeah, they're all like, it's almost like bingo
oval.
card. They're all like adding. So it should be
A.
Yeah. All right.
So we have a rotational axis over here to the right, but it's going to go black, gray, black, 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 gray, gray. No. Yeah, I know it's a rotation to the right. That's obvious. The question is it black or... I'm going to say it's black because you have one gray on each line.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go black,
So
top right.
It should be, yeah, A.
Obviously black.
Yeah. And
Triangle.
The line always rotates like a degree.
To the left? No, it doesn't.
To the, well, or right, you know, honestly.
Is it rotating?
Yeah. Like imagine a 8-pointed dial. Like, or not. So it would be like 1 degree and then 2 degrees.
No, I think you're wrong. We need to look at diagonally. So we got a vertical diagonal. We have a slight right. We have a horizontal diagonal. We have a slight right.
Okay, well, it's going to be a circle.
Okay, so we have 3 options. Circle, circle.
And
horizontal because...
So it's down.
So you have 3 verticals, 3 horizontals, I mean, 3 diagonals and 2 horizontals. So we're going to go circle, horizontal.
Yeah.
Boom.
KKK.
We're going 3 balls.
All right, so it's going to be, the triangle is going to be facing up, so it's either B or F.
Okay, so it's F. So 3 with vertical. Lollipop, lollipop, oh lolly,
I was
lolly.
thinking umbrella.
Obviously white.
Yep. And
Down to the left.
Yep.
Wait, nope.
Nope. Hold on. Blind leading the blind.
Why wouldn't it be down to the left? Oh, because this one's down to the left. What's the other one? All right, we have
So it
upright
should
down
be-
left. We
I
have
think it would be B.
Would it be upright? No, because that is B. It would be okay. So we're looking for white. We have FAB.
So
this is right, bottom right.
Those two face
bottom
each
left,
other. So
bottom right, bottom left. Then we have top left, and this is the only top right.
I'm telling you, it's B. I mean, see, the two black ones sort of down to the left. They're facing each other. Then the striped ones
you're
are facing
following
each other.
the pattern across diagonally.
Yeah.
I'll go with it.
Okay, so it's like from 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock, then from 2 o'clock, and I'm going on the top horizontal row to, what would that be, like 4 or 5? So 12 to 4. So that'd be 6, and then to 8. So I think it'd be B.
Oh, I said white supremacists struggle with IQ tests.
It'd be B, wouldn't it?
Huh? I got no idea, dude.
It'd be D. Yeah, it'd be D.
I mean, what's the pattern?
So it's like, think of it like a clock. It's two things. So look at the top row. It's noon, 2, and 4.
Oh, Sam said that. I'm clipping title being white supremacists struggle with IQ tests.
Very true.
Oh man. What a struggle.
See, it's like 2 degrees. So then it's 3, 5, and will that be 7? So that would be 4, 6, and then 8, which would be D.
Yeah, I'm thinking 9 o'clock. Okay.
Equal, super equal, plus, hashtag. Unequal.
I'm thinking C.
I think you're right.
Okay. Oh, no, we're getting a diamond in the center, so it's either A or C.
Yep. And there's...
I think it's A.
Hold on. Because the squares... I think you're right. Yep. Wait.
So you got 3 crosses, 3.
See the crosses go. The crosses go down.
No.
The square,
Disregard that.
So
you have 3 crosses.
It'd be a square. It'd be a diamond. So you're right. There'd be a diamond.
Well, there's 2 diamonds. There's 3 crosses. There's 3 squares. There's 2 dots. There's 2 4 dots. There's 3 circles. So you just need to fill out the rest of. You need to fill out. Give it the 3rd diamond and give it the 3rd 4 dots. Oh boy. Okay, so this is subtraction. So I have a U here and I have a Z here. This is your U line. This is your U line. This is your Z lines. And then you have both a U and a Z line that is deleted.
Okay.
U, Z, X. Yeah. All right. And so we don't have a diagonal line. We have a box with a singular diagonal A. This is an additional. This is an addition with a subtraction. Kind of same thing, same concept. Is that what it looks like?
Yeah,
that's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah.
So we're looking at a right angle top, right angle top,
B,
bottom with the note. Yeah, B.
E or B.
Yep, that's it.
All right. I was wrong.
That was right. What did you say? Oh. Which one did you say?
I said E.
No, because you would have to. You
got to add it and then subtract. You're right. Yeah, B.
All right. Oh boy. 9 minutes. How many questions are there?
20.
No, we're on 22.
Oh no, you're right.
Wonder if it's 30. We can get through this. We got 8 minutes. 8 more. All right. Oh.
They're trashing us in the comments. Okay, so the squares on the bottom row are always the same. So that means it would either be A, C, or E.
A, C, D.
No, sorry.
E.
It would be
A, C, D, or E.
A, D,
or A,
E.
D, or E.
A,
Yep.
D, or E. Okay, so.
All right, so we're looking at A, D, or E. All right, the squares are always left, center, right, too. So it's going to be on the hard right. So we're looking at A and E. What are the circles doing?
The circles.
A circle is definitely under.
The circle on the bottom always is the same, which is irrelevant because there's none on the bottom.
Because it's behind the square. The square's hiding the circle, right? So the circle's in the center, but the square's hiding the circle, and the circle's still in the center. So the circle's going to be in the center. E.
Yep.
Boom. Easy peasy, boys. Cooking this thing. What are we cooking? I think it's based on time too. If I was calculating it would be based on time. We might get like a 110.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Is Mensa a Jew thing?
I don't think so.
Mensa sounds like it.
All right, we got to speed it up, dude. We got to speed it up, and we're going to peace out after this. Maybe we should invite on a Basketball American to the show.
Malarkey, help.
All right, let's finish this thing up. I'm dedicated now, boys. Well, they don't each have 3 of each.
Again, Chris B and Willie PP not seeing any answers in the chat.
Might have to guess on this one, dude. Time's ticking, fella. All right, so what are we looking at? What are we looking at here?
All right, I'm trying to figure out the solid versus hollow thing. You can figure out the shapes. So there's always one by itself and then 2 solids, which means this one will have 2 solids. And I think it would either be A, C, or F. Because it's going to have 2 solids all the way on the left.
I think it's going to be A, B, C, D, E, or F. Yeah, definitely going to be one of those. For sure. For sure. Wonder if the order matters. Circle, circle, circle. Think about it like Sudoku, kind of, maybe. Circle in the center, a black circle in the center. What's that leave us? A and E and F.
A, E, and F. And now, so it'd either be A or F, I think.
A, E, and F, and then you have the double triangle dictates two triangles here, one black, one white. You have a double triangle dictates a triangle here and here. You have a double triangle dictates a triangle here, so you're gonna have black triangle, black circle.
So F.
F. Spinny. What the heck?
So I think what you have here is there's two axes of things rotating. So like the middle row, they're on the same thing. Then one of them turns.
Right. We're basing it off of this middle piece.
Yeah. I think it'd be either D or F.
So we have to spin it.
1, 2. So
Chat, give me an answer. Oh, chat can't see the option F. Oh, I'm sorry, boys. Why can't I make it smaller? What if I do this? Well, now you can't see. Well, that doesn't help either. Oh, I'm sorry, chat. It's fine. Our time's running out anyway. We got 2 minutes. I'm going to guesstimate these last couple. Which one you want to guess, Josh?
I'm thinking E.
E?
Yeah.
I don't know where you're getting E from. AI would do it fast. Well, AI is very good at pattern recognition. Unless you filter it. E? All right, we're going E. All right, we got some more balls in the squares.
From what I gather, the final answer will be inside a square.
Yes. The answer has to have two of the things to answer it, so it's just going to be a circle E. It has to have two of the things inside the circle, inside the square for it to answer itself. If that makes any sense. I don't think it does. Chat's cooking us. We ain't even got the answer to the test yet. Like chat knows the answer. Chat, y'all don't know the answers. All right, we got a ladybug with some extra legs over here or something. Balls are rotating to the right. Okay, dual balls, so you got to keep the balls and you add the lines no matter what. So we would keep this, add the line, subtract the lines. No dual balls, subtract the lines, just one line bottom right, F. Y'all can't see F. It's okay, though. It was deducible. Oh, a dude with two sticks? What are we looking at, Josh?
It's either C or E. So, I think C. Or A, maybe.
C.
Yeah, but
Wait. 118. That ain't bad. Trying to do it together.
You were slowing me down.
Well, we're trying to talk it out instead of just answering the thing. Hey, chat, 118. That ain't too bad.
I have a Mexican mind, so it's pretty limited on that stuff. We know Willie PP, but it's okay. We won't hold your Aztec brain against you.
Chad, I went to Belize one time, and we were doing some work over there, and the Mexicans kept getting mad at us because we couldn't carry the wheelbarrow as good as they could because they're lower to the ground. For real.
That's pretty funny.
They didn't like it, dude. They didn't like it. I'll take 118 for today. You can't even see the screen either. Maybe we need a screenshot and break them all down. Figure out why they aren't. Can you look at the answers?
Chris B, you're right. 118 is still a white IQ.
Visit Mensa for a controlled test in Norway. How do you see the answers to the test?
You could screenshot them and throw them in Grok and have it explain it for you.
35 puzzles in 25 minutes.
Anyway, dude, I'm going to call it. I got to get ready for work tomorrow. Adios.
That's what we do, Sam. That's what we do. We're all over the place, man. That's what you're here for. You know, you're here for World War III. We're starting World War III. Also, we're taking an IQ test today. I enjoyed it.
I had fun.
I'll just go outside and sweat because it's hot and humid. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you in some form tomorrow.
Adios.
Now fight each other, see who's stronger. No, we don't want to do that.
I've got my secret move.
I like Josh. Not like that though.
He doesn't want me to bruise his ego.
Appreciate it, Chris. IQ test, we kind of slowed us down. I had to actually think and not say things. I'm disappointed in my 118. I'm gonna go take that thing again. I think that's cheating. Is that cheating? Taking it twice? I think that's cheating.
Well, is it the same questions?
I don't remember. It's been so long since I took it.
All right, guys.
You didn't hear the World War III stuff? World War III started. Trump bombed Iran.
Yeah.
For Israel. That's about it. You got what you voted for, I guess. I mean, I didn't vote for that, but I kind of did. Josh didn't. He's gonna rub it in Ken's face tomorrow. Dude, we'll have a good show tomorrow. I'm gonna try to get up and actually listen to the show.
Wake Up Carolina.
Yeah, and then we'll discuss that. I'll record some of it. Especially we'll have some boomer takes to go off of and see how that goes.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a special Sunday. You got your live stream, a 3-hour live stream. We will see you again someday, probably tomorrow.
Adios.
Wait, where's the end button? Let's get them out of here. Boom. Wrong button. Boom. That button.